Hello, friends! We are here, always on time. Welcome to Roll to Quest, where you get to experience authentic and late D&D. We don't really got anything to talk about, so we're just going to jump into our session for the evening. Last time, you guys, after having dealt with the, well, we'll say the aftermath of Orlaveil's fight with, despite what some people would say, the Rhino Dragon, he took a horn and he invited you to join in the festival. You guys accepted the festival. He gave you a little bit of a hand in getting a little bit closer before you approached and were encountered by a multitude of dragons. As you've seen now, mute your phone. As you've seen now, a grand host of dragons that seem to surround and circle Lone Peak, where at first it looked to only be dragons, both from the black ancient dragon that collided or that fought with you, and then had a brief battle with many others that he mostly dispatched with, apart from one silver-like dragon that seemed to be able to hold their own against him. You guys move forward to find that there is more of an actual full festival that is actually happening. There is hundreds, if not thousands, of humans that circle the base of the canyon surrounding Lone Peak. You had a brief interaction with a red dragon that, while motivation's still slightly unclear, gave some of you a ride. You were registered as Orlaveil's, as participants under Orlaveil for these challenges, whatever they might be for this festival. From there, you guys regrouped back down, figured out the festival is unique to say the least. Tiku feels very at home with the individuals and the stalls that she seems to be running into before you guys made your way back to the inn to come up with a little bit more of a solid plan. Only other thing that I will mention is you have hired a guide that has been who's been moving with you, offered you his service to actually participate in these matches or these trials, these trials of Conquest. Although, as of right now, you have not elected to actually hire him. Instead, he is still remaining as your guide for today. He has made your plan at the inn, went back, you made your way to the arena for the first Conquest, and saw bugbears, goblins, and wargs that seemingly have much more of a fan presence for them. They seem to be much more cheered for. Razu elected to place a bet on your crew and realized the odds were not in your favor. 2-1 against you specifically, or 2.5 to 1. Apologies. So with that, as we had left off, she had just announced that the first Conquest shall now begin. So you get to roll initiative. Woo! And that's gonna... Hope that got really loud. I apologize.
Everybody roll initiative! For the first time in forever.
Look at that beauty.
Is that a 20 over here?
All right.
For the first time.
Number to beat is a 11.
You just got over a 10. That's the first time in forever.
17 on the die. For like the past 4 combats, I've gotten below 5.
Who all beat 11? Zephyr and Kane?
I matched 11.
In your favor. So that'd be the 3 of you?
Gurgle's one.
So we're half and half.
I lost.
No, us 4.
Okay, so it's you 4, and then these 2 both lost. So again, I'll say this to the stream. I know we just mentioned this, but the one other thing in this match, this is just an elimination match. This is a headhunter elimination match. Kane is the one who needs to live on your side. And the bugbear on the opposing side is the one that would need to live till the end of it. And then, yes, protect the leader. And then the one other thing is that there's 2 ways to approach. Technically, there's 3 ways to approach it.
Wizard this time.
You can kill. The current Dragon King is in favor of not killing and instead subduing your opponents. The Usurper is in favor of killing, and pretty much no one will respect you if you try and ride the line. With that, the 4 of you, the game has been announced. Just so you guys know, the edges of the map is actually the wall. You guys are just in a more so rectangular.
So I know we had a plan last week, but it's been a week. We had I think it was those 2 on offense and these 2 on defense?
Tiku's on defense.
Tiku's on defense.
Also, for what
I do vaguely remember this, but I don't remember.
One other thing for what it's worth, you guys actually can hear the music. It is not just ambience.
Oh.
I do vaguely remember a
Our
conversation about
chat
attacking
god.
defenders, but I also don't remember
Who
what
was the
was actually
attacker
said.
defenders last session?
Just-
Jasmine is not going to tell you guys.
I'm
Just
gonna-
decide.
I'm
What are you
gonna-
doing?
Goddess of wisdom.
She has good notes.
I believe
Oh,
you and Razu are
so
attacking.
we could go first, right?
So the four of
Yes.
you go.
I'm going first. Bless.
I just assume you're hitting everyone. Upcasting you.
Yeah.
Is that your last spell?
Oh yeah, we're also
ain't
low on
gonna tell you.
resources.
Yeah.
No.
You don't actually have to tell me. I'm just making sure.
rest.
I'm just.
I'm not quite
I'm just
out.
making sure that you didn't.
No.
That is true. We have no long rest.
Yes, I was just making sure that none of you guys long rest.
Here's a short rest.
Making sure which one I need to
Deserved.
pass, though.
She takes notes on lore, not on battle plans.
Goddess of wisdom failed us.
I just
Bless.
remember Tiku didn't have to go
I can
first.
bless
That's
so
all.
many people that we
So-
don't have.
Do we just do Gurgle and Razu as offensive?
Razu,
Quick
Gurgle.
question.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Before we get started,
We're talking over each other a lot. We gotta
did
calm down.
they tell us that there's a space between the contests?
You did not ask.
We didn't
I
ask.
feel this is an elaborate plan
All right.
to
Everyone
get justice
gets
for
plus.
the
You guys
figure.
had multiple hours.
I can cast 8 pluses. So
I feel like
That would require way too much
If it-
forethought
if it
on our
mal-
part, and you should not expect
No one
that.
asked.
even
I
Malor,
feel like that's something I would have asked, but
even
But you
Malor
didn't.
gets
We
plus
did
one.
ask. You said we didn't.
Oh no,
No, we
Clay.
Okay.
No,
What
the
do
people
you
who were
have
actually
for?
seeking out
Malor
information.
gets less. Oh, Malor.
Wait, are you going?
no, I just rolled like a 2 on my
Did you just
investigation.
fly up and
Problem.
fireball them? Isn't that like huge, man?
Wait, were we
No, I
talking
couldn't
about
fly up.
how
I would have
long we
fly
had
up and
if we could've
fireball
taken a
them.
Don't
long
you have
rest?
fly?
No, I wanted to.
That
know
would cut
Yeah,
take an
you
action
take
to
an
cast.
Did
action.
they tell us how long?
fireball
What
takes
does
an
the
action.
terrain
I
look
yeet
like?
you in
Guys,
the air.
We need to stop all talking over each other. We're doing really bad already.
Okay.
One at a time.
What does the terrain look like?
So this is accurate. Each of these is about 10 feet tall, to the point that you would have to
Okay.
either climb up on it, and they do completely block visual.
Okay.
How tall's the ceiling?
There is no ceiling.
So we could fly on top of them.
Also,
Wow.
if you could jump high enough, you could just jump, or you could climb.
Walk me 30 feet forward, preferably with full cover. If,
There's
okay, close
much.
enough. Okay. Yeah. I was more just like trying to hug the side of stuff
Oh,
if I
if
can.
you want, you could be here with your 30 feet level.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
You said they were 10 feet?
I use
They're 10 feet tall, yes. So that was your movement.
Yep. I already used my action.
Bless,
Good.
bonus.
Because we haven't rested. We don't really
It is
have
what it
any
is.
bonuses.
I'm gonna use my movement to stay within 10 feet of Kane at all times.
So you just move.
So whenever he moves, I'm moving with him.
That does take your reaction.
That would be.
I am. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you are, unless said otherwise, you are using your reaction each round to keep pace with Kane. The only thing with that is, just per the way that the combat would work, when he moves, it would be he moves and then you follow him, just
Yeah.
in case that ends up being applicable.
Jasmine says the music's do that.
I kind of thought it might be too. Let me turn it. I apologize. Let me know if that went too far or too low.
I'm gonna move up to midfield by action dashing, and then I'm gonna light my whip. That's probably what I'll do.
60, you're 35 right now.
75. Yeah, 70 feet would be.
So you get right there. Do you want to? Are you trying to attempt to like climb anything, or are you just getting here?
No, I'll stay covered. I don't want to get shot by bow and arrows.
Okay. And you've now ignited. You've now ignited your whip,
Yep, whip's going.
and that would be the end of your turn. So you said you were going to move with Kane. If you'd like, you would. No, you could still go first. He would just preemptively be using his reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
he'd be
definitely
using
totally
his
fine.
reaction from the previous turn.
Or because we're going technically on the same initiative, I'm just moving with him on this, using the same move action. To
I
move
already
with
asked him. He said this wouldn't work. As I
Yes.
thought of that same thing.
Hey, you guys can't share it. You would have to use your reaction.
Why not?
Are you counting this as 5 feet? These rocks are about 5
No,
feet up.
10
No,
feet.
10
10 feet.
They give entire, like full cover.
Malorth is going to fly 80 feet in the air.
So
I
how did
assume
we
that
see
gives
them?
us line of sight.
As soon as she gets to about 40 feet, she hits effectively what appears to be a massive wall of force.
That's why I asked.
You can't see it.
Fuck
Can't
this
see it,
game.
so you wouldn't be able to know.
She hits and she does communicate back to you. I can't fly any higher.
All right.
She still has movement left,
With
though.
40 feet, is the angle good enough to see?
Geometry. Yeah.
I would say you could see this ward here in the back. These guys would be covered by this one.
I can agree with that.
But
All right. Then she's gonna go 40 feet that way to try and get the angle. 40. Yeah.
be right there, technically 40 feet in the air. I'd give you the goblin, so I'd give you these two goblins in this warg.
Okay.
You no longer can see this guy though.
Fair enough. And then she's going to take the dodge action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. Is that? I know there's like a small gap, but is there actually a small gap right where Malorth is to the wall?
That is the wall. This is.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about where the black thing is. There's technically the tiniest amount of gap underneath her. Basically, if I were to go through that gap, could I?
I would say you could squeeze through it for double movement.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to start making my way towards that.
I use my reaction to.
And you wanted to go with him.
Getting our flying
And
stuff.
I might as well action dash. Well, yeah, he should be able to. I'll stay within 10 feet, but I'll action dash for more movement.
That means you can only go 20 because he had to use a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you get right to the. You're right at the point that you'd have to start squeezing next
I'm
turn.
just using that as a line of sight, just FYI. Just keeping an eye down here.
Fair enough. Okay, and then
My turn. I'm going to action dash to stay within.
you
10
don't,
feet
you
of
don't,
him.
you don't have to.
You're in
just
10
kept
feet.
pace with him. That's why you need to move it slower. So you have your action, but your movement's gone.
I will. I will cat. Yeah, I'll cast guidance on myself.
Sure. Okay, you are guidanced.
She's only 40 feet in the air, so she'd be on the second one, yeah.
You can put it underneath the
You might want to
two.
brush the rocks off.
I could have, or I could just leave it like that, or I could even. Nope, can't fit. We're just leaving it. It's fine.
Do we
that's fine.
supernaturally
That's
know where everybody is, or
No.
did you put them on the field because, like,
You saw them when you were coming down.
Yeah, that's
The
why I was
answer
trying to get line of
is,
sight.
I'm only going to move the minis if you know where they are, once it's their turn.
or if we see them?
Or if you see them, yes, if you can see them. Especially
Are you
because,
gonna team? Are you gonna team let us see them?
yeah, if he's going to call out positions. The only thing is, like, if you tried to shoot at an arch, I would impose disadvantage, and it would be,
We don't have to call him out.
yeah,
We
you
come back
guys
to
don't
the
actually
top.
have to call him out.
Oh,
that
yeah.
said, for Malrith would effectively convey this to you as she's looking over. As you're trying to kind of keep the sight line, she goes, you hear that's not natural at all. As she would watch this ward and this goblin, both of them just kind of into the sand.
Ooh. Nice. Have I heard of this before?
Being able to travel through Earth, yes. Goblins that can like
specifically-
dig through Earth,
Because this was in last campaign, so I'm just curious if I've heard of this before.
I would say no.
Okay.
You have not heard of a goblin troop that can do this. But yes, for you as a person, they are from there.
Would you say while I was going down and seeing them on the other side of the arena, did I see any ranged weapons?
Yes, very much so. In fact, all of the goblins have ranged weapons. You didn't see them with melee weapons. The only person who had a melee weapon was the bugbear, who is wielding a giant mace.
Watch your feet. They're coming from below.
Then we probably get on these rocks.
With that being the case, that is it. It's the two, technically it's
These
all
two
of
didn't
this.
move?
Oh wait, no, I did say you could see them. All the goblins went
Okay.
into the dirt.
You might as well.
Did he see the bugbear start
these
going
minis
around?
as well.
Technically, yes. They all dug. If as you like turned and moved, you were gonna see that they weren't there. The ground does kind of fill back in after them. Not to the point that it's magically though. They do seem to actually be tunneling. It kind of collapses on itself. It's almost like they're simply displacing the dirt
you.
behind them. With that, it's back to all of you. Malrith has reported technically to Kane, who would yell back to all of you that it seems that they have the ability to traverse through sand.
Oh, you realize how bullshit this is I just thought of?
That everywhere is sand?
No. How the heck do we ever get their leader?
Because he just stays underground, yeah. The answer is we cast heat metal on him.
How? He's underground. We don't have line of sight.
I mean, if we
have
take
to
down
ready
all
an
the
action.
goblins, then it's either a tie or our victory because he just is a coward, and I feel like coward is an anti to what this is.
With that, what are you guys doing? As you guys are kind of yelling back and forth, Zephyr's like, "This is bullshit."
Mental communication is what, because he cast the spell last week.
straight have telepathy as well.
Yeah. For an hour. Even Malorth.
Get up on the
There's
rocks,
8
guys.
targets.
It's
They'll
all
stay
of
on
you
the
guys?
sand.
What are we doing?
I'm pretty sure ground movement isn't limited by just rocks or sand. I'm pretty sure they can just move through ground,
I'm just
right?
gonna move up towards.
Depends on how it works. There is certain movement that only allows you to move through
Specific
sand
objects.
and then pass through earth. I think is what it's called.
Pastor Stone.
Pass through stone will allow you to move through anything.
Just move me to the
Pass
center.
Hey,
I'll
group.
action dash and try to get to the center of that opening.
Pass Stone,
I'll
I'm pretty
take
sure
her.
removes a certain amount.
Do you have
of stone.
any more of that,
You can
like
get rid of the top part.
mole claw stew that we got? The claws where we could dig. That's 50.
Like, I just want to be as centered in the
Not
open as I can,
made,
so I have
no.
best line of sight everywhere.
You go one square step that way.
Sorry, if you were,
I could make more.
Because I can do 60.
Yeah, you can get right here. That is 60. Where you
That
are.
gives you the greatest line of sight.
Can you guys hold him off for an hour?
Sure, let me get on that.
That's me.
He just pulls out a pot, starts cooking.
Okay.
Hold him off for an
Everyone else
hour. I
goes.
got this.
You're not manifesting mind?
I can't.
Oh.
We have to get a long rest.
You might want to
Welcome-
take the top half off.
I can only manifest mine with long rests.
Unless you break it.
Never mind.
I can.
Here you go. You can use this one.
It'd be great to
I have
manifest
other
mine
ones
and
ready.
put it down there so I can have vision there.
this?
I'm gonna
That-
go
that has a
scout.
bottom.
That won't work.
It will not. This is the first time I've ever actually used these. Right there. Oh, that's way more sturdy. Good plan. Great plan. You have to put the base there, though.
You have to have the pillar there, so yeah, just rotate it.
Blind sight does not work
fun.
through ground, correct?
Blind sight.
You have
no,
to have tremor
you need
sense?
tremor
No.
sense. To be able to see into the ground, you need tremor sense.
Or blind sense, technically.
No.
Does
blind
spider
sight
climb
doesn't-
let you
Blind
climb?
sense doesn't go through solid objects.
What about
does-
sand?
Let's see real quick.
Sand is like a lot of miniature solid objects.
Does spider climb let you climb on a force wall?
It allows you to climb on any surface.
The answer is it does not work on any, specifically sand, stone, wood. It even says floor, walls. Blind sense would not work for any of that.
All right.
So it's really like you sense the air.
It's just normal sight line, but blind sense would allow you to see like invisible creatures. You could see through fog clouds, magical darkness.
All right.
It's literally a sense.
is going to fly to the next
It's effectively a sixth sense.
Tremor
island.
sense would let
And
you see
then-
through the floor.
She is going to breath attack this sand, basically this section, to try and turn it to glass.
How hot is Malor's breath?
Roll damage.
Go ahead and roll damage. I'm gonna give 50 damage to actually glass the top of it. Is what you need to hit.
Means you might have to do it in 2 attacks. Or 3.
54.
This actually is enough. Much in like if you've ever played the Halo games, how the Covenant glass the
planets.
top of the planet.
3,090.
Hers is a 60-foot breath weapon.
30
Just on a
foot.
much
30 foot, so
smaller
it'd be
scale.
half of this.
Yeah.
She would have
Basically.
to get much lower than that.
3,000 degrees.
No, she basically flying down.
Oh.
That's first fire.
Okay, so you want basically this section right
Yes, as I assume that's where they are.
First fire.
here? Okay. So as you go down, Malorth effectively carpet bomb? Yeah,
Yeah.
effectively carpet bombing it, just and solidifies.
And she's going to use the remainder of her movement, which is 35, to go back to the original island. Probably to get.
Not quite make it.
Yeah.
It's 45 to make it there.
Well, she was in the far end, so she could go to the closer side.
Could go to right here.
Yeah.
All right.
And then she'd be a lot, probably just 10 feet above, so probably on the land. And then I'm going to parkour up.
Athletics. Or acrobatics. I would actually allow either.
Did anybody hear my question? Can you spider climb a fort wall?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
30, 20.
30, 20 is definitely enough. Climb up. Climbing is still double move speed, so that's 20.
And then Clay's following me.
Indeed.
And then I just want to make a perception check. And I don't know if this will only last for 1 round or if I could have it be perpetual, but basically looking for shifting sand.
So that would be a 1-round thing. You'd
Okay.
be trying to spot them out, and then the perpetual would be your passive.
Okay. Then I'll just do 1 round perception check.
Okay.
That is a 15.
Well, it's not
15?
No, they just...
You notice 2 of them based on what they rolled.
Yeah, but
Funnily enough, one just got glass.
spin and rotate out.
But how deep does the glassing go?
I'd say only about a foot.
So they can't come out, but they're not stuck in place.
Depends on how deep they are.
Look at my
If they're just below the surface, I mean, they're not very tall. They're goblins. But yeah. Anyway. That
But
is-
what you would see is effectively, it almost looks like the sand is like slightly divoting.
I'm actually
like
going to
something's
bonus
digging
action
under it.
turn it to dragon form.
Okay.
And then that'll be in my turn.
All right. Kane is gone. What are we doing?
I have pointed them out. We have found 2 of them.
Yeah, but I might as well fix it.
Was I able to parkour up with?
You do need to make either athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
I will.
Acrobatics is a higher roll.
acrobatics. Acrobatics is a higher roll.
Acrobatics it's more difficult to acrobatic up it than just to climb
Oh,
it.
mine was an acrobatics check in case that made a difference.
Okay.
It still passes.
Okay.
How much does it give me a D4?
How hard should we go in this fight, everyone?
All right, and
Like
I'm going to channel divinity to give myself advantage on athletic checks and acrobatic checks for 1 hour.
How smart
Or
is
athletic
Tiku?
checks for 1 hour. So I'm going to athletics up there.
Okay.
I mean,
Is
it's
it
better
athletics
not to
or-
reveal all our cards this early.
Yeah, because I don't know how many conquests we have to go through.
Or
It's
how
like-
fast.
Many tiers, and is it all back to back? Or do we get like a day of rest in between?
Well, even if we don't.
So
get it
that
through.
that you did figure out. I think I misunderstood you earlier. Apologies. There's the 7 days of conquest leading up to the final celebration. The event is a 7-day long
Okay, so there's
event thing,
And is
there's
it
a conquest each day.
Is it a knockout style, like a tournament bracket?
That you don't know.
So you
wait.
could spend it in this fight.
Yes, it's not necessarily all fights, but if you lose a
I thought when you
conquest,
signed up, you said that it was like a
yes, but each conquest isn't necessarily a fight. That was where I was saying.
right, but it was like a bracketed system, and then like all the teams were laid out at the bottom when she was putting us in. Right?
Yes, there is multiple people who will win their conquest though. So it's like multiple separate tournaments throughout it. They're all competing towards the top, and then there'll be multiple winners at the end who all get to attend the final festival.
And you also told us you did also tell us. I'm not sure if I am just remembering this or if you intentionally told us, but you did tell us that like the second one was like an obstacle course, like some high stakes obstacle course or something. So
Correct.
I did know that there were like different kinds, that they're not all like
But yes, to answer your question, you do know that there's one on each day because there's a conquest on each day leading up to the final festival or the celebration.
So if they're on each day, we have ideally a day to rest, so we could just go all out, right?
Unless you don't want to reveal your cards, yeah.
I mean, I can't. I don't have that available.
You might not want to. You might not want to reveal all our cards to whatever fight. This is like an actual tournament style, man. They can get They can do counters. Like.
While he's thinking,
Just to remind you, I pierce fire immunities. So, yeah, just to remind you.
I got a 15 acrobatics.
Depends on if you want to show your cards or not.
15. It is fairly difficult. Acrobatic or 15 is the check, but you're still able to. Whew. I would think of it like a professional climber, where you're like almost like throwing yourself between them.
I got an 8 and a nat 1, and that guidance saved me with that 4.
You can't guidance a
You-
check.
What? I thought that's what it only
it's an
did.
attack roll or saving throws.
I thought it was
Oh,
ability
guide.
checks.
Oh, you guidance your.
He guidance himself last turn.
Guidance, yes.
Oh,
Bless
he
is
guidance.
different.
Yeah, he
Bless
just
is
used
different.
guidance on himself
You
last
have
turn.
to specifically choose which skill check
did.
you do with.
Acrobatics and athletics. Actually, that was Channel Divinity.
Yeah.
That's Channel Divinity. Acrobatics.
Guidance. You have to specifically say which skill.
I thought it was all.
But no, they updated it for 2024.
Oh, they nerfed it more.
They-
Okay,
they
I'll
did
say
nerf it.
acrobatics.
We'll just say that it is acrobatics.
Just
It is-
making sure.
That is important.
Going forward, it was.
'Kay.
I'll be sure to forget again.
I think the idea is that you're guidancing to accomplish a specific task.
I know the theory behind it. It's just been what 10 years of it being a certain way, and now changed it.
And then I will action dash.
I like the change thematically.
Yeah, thematically, it's a good change. Mechanically, playing it, it's going to be a little rough getting used to the new.
6, 7, 8.
Kanan is our tank, right?
You have 3 more.
Who's our tank? What?
You're our.
I'm
not our
the
tank,
president,
you're
yes.
our-
2 spaces so I
leader.
don't have to take fall damage.
Okay. Easy enough. You climb down. Is what that
It's a big field. It's like
Does-
almost 2.5 turns to get in melee range.
Did you do your turn, Harm? You've done your turn, right?
They burrowed, and Malrith communicated that back. Technically, she doesn't even have to. She can communicate with all of you
Yes.
because of the
Yep.
telepathic connection.
Alright, and then I'll bonus action rage in my turn.
Okay, just so you know, rage ends if you don't do damage
No.
or take damage.
Not
He can
anymore.
use a bonus action to maintain it in 2024.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Same.
they made rage a little bit better.
That's good. I didn't think that was.
Rage was already good. They just made it.
They made it a little bit more usable, I guess.
Well, it was always usable. Now it's. Now
They
it's
just
one
made
where-
sure it's
where-
actually the
Tiku
three uses are for 3 different
Is going to
combats.
fly up
Yeah.
to Kane.
Or I
That's
guess
not
if,
accidentally wasted.
yeah. Also, if they're
Barbarian raged. Run away.
Yeah.
Due to your flying, you do not
calm
have
down
to make
again.
a check.
also
You're just able
people
to
they
fly
did
up.
they did make it so that you can
And
use it for
then
like neutral game stuff.
I will
as
take a
well because of
defensive
that.
stance.
Okay.
Also to block
Because you could just be angry.
Kane
with him.
attacks against
Yeah,
Kane.
you don't have to use
So
it
you,
on combat.
Th-
I'm pretty sure
that's one
Hiram
or
does a
the-
protect action. You can take
Yeah,
use your
that's
action
one or
to
the other.
protect
You
someone.
can take a defensive stance. We'll make sure that they have disadvantage attacking you, or you can extend. You can use your turn to basically protect Kane, which would imply disadvantage against him. Or so basically, you would take the dodge action for him.
Did you do that? Did you do the protective action already?
No, I have not taken the dodge action.
Malrith did. And
No,
That was,
I was
back
talking
last
about
turn, yeah. Clay? No, he
Brain.
did not.
Clay, yeah.
I don't think he did.
I was like, my brain is dying today. Okay, I'll do the protective action then.
Okay. So that's the Tiku, Razu, and Kane have gone.
I think he already went too, right? It's just me.
No, you climbed
Zephyr.
up, but you still have an action.
Zephyr
find
did
out.
go.
I went
Defense
first.
action.
Yeah.
Do I have any of the guys within?
Hostiles? They're like
Within 100?
150 feet from you, and you can't see them.
They're
Oh,
in the
that's
sand.
good. Oh, they're in the sand. Oh, well, I thought you pointed them out to me, or is that?
They are
they're
underneath the
under.
sand.
They're underneath the sand.
And also
Does
he
that just
glassed.
provide what? Just a little bit of cover? Can I still shoot
Full
them?
cover.
I think
You
in
would
this
not be able to
case,
shoot
it's
them with a
like
crossbow.
full- I
They
think
would be considered full cover. He knows the area that they're in. Would be a
So,
more
like, if
accurate
we
way to
see
say
them,
it.
we couldn't, like, even with a spear, just like stab into the sand.
You could.
If you were
But
right
I can't
next
do that with a crossbow. That
No,
can't
you could
pierce
attempt
armor?
to. You could
I
attempt
just don't
to.
think it would work in this case because he glassed it.
No,
The
so
glass,
this-
the ceiling,
I mean,
the
he could
whole
shoot this
soft
one.
Surface.
That one is not glassed. The only thing is the angle.
What do you mean?
I would
glass?
say-
Also behind a rock. He's under the ground
Fire at the
behind
sand
a rock.
and turns
He'd
into
be
glass.
disadvantage.
It's just 3 cover.
Well,
3 covers
quarters.
quarter.
3 quarters
And
cover.
Yeah.
disadvantage.
No, the answer is you could shoot. It would be difficult, but you could shoot it. That one specifically.
Shoot at it.
Shoot
Okay,
at it. Would
I'm-
technically be the accurate
I'm
statement.
going to try and shoot at it.
Go for it.
Disadvantage.
First blood.
Do I have advantage for being elevated?
No,
What?
They used to be
Grabbing the
rules.
high
I was hoping they
ground.
brought that back.
Nope.
definitely not.
So
Baldur's Gate 3 just
probably
start
going to be that one.
stacking boxes.
Can't get lower than a nat 1.
That one would. So the way that I'm gonna interpret that is you shoot, and it's low enough the cover that the arrow clips the rock right before it actually before it would actually have the proper trajectory, and just kind of just goes flying
You skip the arrow off this into the wall.
There's
into a viewer
Let's
watching,
find
and
them.
you're disqualified.
So if you're watching and everybody cheers, whoa!
Okay, so that's the end of Clay's turn. We have
if the
Gurgle.
person that got skewered with it.
All right. I'm just gonna say. All right. I guess I'll just get ready to hit something that I see in a second. But you said it's 40 feet up, right, Cade?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna enlarge, giant smite, and then jump, and get up on the ceiling.
You're jumping twice?
So he's jumping up onto the 10 foot and then jumping
Honestly,
30
with the size
feet.
you are, you're just, and with how high you can jump, you just watch Gargoyle just, and just flips, and it's just stuck.
I'm just like looking.
You do, as you're looking around, you having a little bit better view, all the people looking around, almost all of them are entirely focused on your group. Whether or not they can't see the goblins or they just seem intent.
I just do like
Especially
an
as you
upside
jump-
down bow.
As you jump up and you look and you see, again, a plethora of races. The thing that you notice as you have a passive perception over 20, there's multiple Dragonborn that seem particularly interested in Cain and Malrith. With that being the case, that is the end of your turn.
Do I notice that as well?
You do not.
Oh, you said over 20. Fair enough.
So the only two that can actually make it this turn, as these two would continue to dig, it would be lost. He actually can make it to you only with his charge attack. He can make it to you.
Is it a stealth when they go underground?
It's just passive perception to be able to spot them.
But yes, for them, it technically counts as a stealth check for how well they can proceed and still
Would
be
it
able
just
to.
be a passive perception, their passive stealth versus my passive perception then?
They're active. They took an action to do it.
So I have a 22 if that matters.
It does matter. Does it, like, to the point that you would actually see, especially as they get a little bit closer, these two would now, as they actually burst from the ground, especially for you, Zephyr, these wargs look different, and you get a first-hand approach as it kind of and just almost like a shark jumping out of the water to try and catch like a bird or something flying through the air. You watch as this warg flying at you. Its gums, where like normally you'd have the kind of the part that the gums holding the mouth together, have been cut and rocks have grown where their gums are, to where it almost looks like their mouth goes back like an additional foot into their head. The spikes that are coming out of the top of its head are instead almost more so like almost blunt stones. They're actually not very spiked. Their fur, while still having that almost like a fur coat, where you can see the bits of where normally that leathery hide, again, you can see instead rock skin, where normally a warg's, again, leathery skin would be. With that being the case, they pretty sure both miss you. Does a 16 hit you, Zephyr?
That is my armor class.
Ooh, that hits, and I know that a 14 doesn't hit you.
Do I? I'm so low on spells.
I'm gonna repost that.
What do I have? Double check.
What a...
If he
they
misses me, I can spend a superiority die to get that and an attack. A superiority
Basically
die
makes
added
an
to an attack.
against them.
Does it take your reaction?
It does.
Yes.
I use shield.
Okay.
I reckless attack, by the way, for future. That is a 29 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Can you reckless attack on a reaction?
Yes, you can attack, reckless attack any attack you want. You just have to say you're doing it before you do it. For you, Zephyr, as you shield it and its jaw comes to clamp down, it hits your shield to where you effectively almost like keeping its mouth opened. As it bites down, though, you see the rocks almost start to have steam that bleeds out of them, and you hear like a and it kind of, and even though it like as you hit it and you kind of like brush its charge off to the side, as its jaw hits, it's like a and it slams.
Don't like that.
Oh man, they got hydraulic jaws.
Much like you would hear from like a machine slowly crushing and snapping shut at the end. In our actual world is what it kind of sounds like.
Just to inform you, technically, with 2024 rules, reckless attack, you have to do it on your turn, and then you get it for the whole round. And you have to make an attack on your turn to get it. Just when you make your first attack roll on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on attack rolls using strength until the start of your next turn. Attack rolls against you have advantage.
So you
during
have
that
to
time.
make an attack.
on your turn you have to attack to get reckless attack.
I would say you can still do it on your reaction. It would just be that. So I'm okay with it. It's just that when it hits your turn, it's not going to go away. They would need to be able to go.
Well, it lasts until the start of.
He said,
Effectively, I'm saying it lasts for 1 round. Because normally you do it on your turn, then it lasts for a round because it comes back to your turn.
Okay.
Due to the way that we do our turns, I will let you reckless attack on anything.
Everything
But it's
has
going to be
advantage.
a full round. It's like if you were the last person to go, and then
I was the first person to go. It would.
It
yeah,
wouldn't
basically,
reset.
it wouldn't change it. It would need to go to the end of the round. So if someone used a legendary action, for example, and you went first, it would still impose it.
If you reckless attack is as
will-
if you used it at the start of your turn.
Yeah, that's the only thing. With that, I'm totally fine with that.
42 damage.
Music is definitely varying in volume. It's all the same playlist. Why? I'll have to turn down the songs.
Do I need to separate damage types?
Not versus these. You said 42?
Mm-hmm. 46. My bad. I forgot rage.
42 was so much easier.
No, it's 44.
I was gonna say, I
plus
don't
2.
think you get to add +4, my guy.
They never get a +4.
They do. If you
No,
go
it's,
like
they
level
get a
17.
+3. Max is +3.
I think you're thinking of Baldur's Gate, my friend.
No,
they
I'm
go-
pretty sure it goes +4 at like level 17.
I think it goes up to plus higher than that. Doesn't matter. For now, it's +2. No, we're talking about the
No.
bonus for raging.
Yeah, it's +4 at level 16. I was 1 off. My apologies.
What is this level 3?
With that, that is the end of their turn. Is again,
You get plus
you
4.
Zephyr have now realized there's something altering these wargs. That the way that thing bit, not normal. I got you, Zephyr.
was that it? Was that their turn?
Yep, that's their turn. None of the goblins or the
Alright,
bugbear didn't seem to make
Then
it.
before he does anything, I'm gonna launch off the ceiling. Like I'm not even like just falling on it. I'm launching at it like a torpedo. I will try to land. I will try to land on
Gurgle's
it.
just like tongue out.
I will try to land on
Just a
it.
feral frog.
I will try to land on it as I lasso its neck.
And he's got like the corkscrew with the lasso coming out behind him, so it looks like a little
I'm gonna try
fire.
and use it to break my fall.
And you're gonna bonus action rage.
Okay. Only thing with that, just so you know, even if you hit something and it breaks your fall, the fall damage is still done, but you take half of it.
I know.
Okay. Go ahead and make
So
your
it's
attack.
40. It's 40 feet. How much extra damage is that?
It's an extra. It's a
46s?
d6 per 10 feet.
So
46.
46.
46 extra. And you would,
46 damage.
you would get sneak attack as well, as it is adjacent to Zephyr.
Actually, probably I'm just gonna reckless anyway because I want advantage. I want to make sure I hit it.
Yeah, he's definitely doing the whole.
I see it come out and it's like, "Grr," and I'm like, "Grr."
All right. Gurgle has rabies.
Comes from the
He
swamp.
kind of does.
It's 29 and 26.
He's also.
It's definitely going to hit.
Is it-
Both.
Is it AIDS that basically like makes you like?
Rabies. It's
That makes
rabies.
you what?
It is just rabies.
I'm also gonna
animals that makes
poison-
animals go
I'm gonna
crazy?
poison. I'm gonna
No, I was
poison
talking about
attack
his
the
poison
first one
skin.
as well.
Oh.
I would definitely
We're
compare
again,
that to just
we're
a
talking over
poisonous
each other a
frog.
lot. One conversation at a
Okay,
time.
so
Gurgle's going.
this is gonna be easier to roll on my phone.
That's what I was thinking too.
There's too many dice going on here. I don't have this many dice.
Are you doing anything special?
I'm whipping it, and since I'm so dexterous, I'm gonna whip it and then whip it again. But the second time, I'm gonna lasso its neck as I land on its back.
Can I start
I
hitting?
think of it like so. I actually, the way in my head, the way this goes is you literally have turned yourself into a drill, and it's like whiplash. So it's like in a spin, or you're
Oh,
like,
it's like the first one whips, and then the
that
second
wasn't
one
loud.
like whips around and then wraps or something like that.
That's how I'm kind of interpreting it. You've literally
I'm okay
turned
with that.
yourself into a rabid torpedo as it just.
All right, I'll do the 4d6 fall damage real quick first, so that we know how much damage I take.
You take half of whatever you're doing because you are breaking your fall with it.
So the fall damage is
Now the music just stopped.
it's 10 damage.
say.
Fall
you take
damage is
5?
10
Yours is
damage.
quieter.
Which would be reduced to 2 because you're raging.
I'm not raging actually.
Are you big, Paul?
Yes, he's huge.
I am big.
He's not.
I don't know if
he's
that
not large.
matters.
He's huge.
I don't know if that matters for fall damage. But
Huge. Huge.
Ginormosaurus.
It does
somebody-
not by the rules.
Somebody else can go while I'm doing it.
Does the weight of something falling on something increase the damage it would take?
That's what he was just saying. Technically, no. I might think about it, but for right now, no. By the rules, the answer is no.
Also, that's
So
not, it's
Gurgle
not
is gone. He's doing his damage.
law of gravity, my man. It doesn't matter. It's wind resistance.
Well,
I
no,
could-
wait. No, speed doesn't matter.
And speed,
The
yeah,
force,
speed don't
the force
matter.
does matter.
The force
though.
definitely
yeah,
gets
force matters.
I'm saying if I'm a 600-pound dude, I'm gonna hurt a little bit more than a 150-pound dude.
With that being the case,
You actually
by the way,
rolled after you had
mass
to roll.
times velocity squared. That's what you're looking at.
That's
I
true.
guess
It's more
I will
mass.
start hitting my doge.
I mean, Kayla, it's literally
But is
mass times velocity squared.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
still an applicable thing.
Yeah.
The speed is what wouldn't change. Roger's going. Make your attack.
Force of the
Natural 20.
Force. Yeah, it changes.
Very nice.
because the mass is.
What are you cutting off?
We'll cut off one of his front digging pouch.
One of his front legs. Okay.
We don't calculate that.
He needs to make a con save, by the way. DC 18.
19 total.
All right, he passes.
How much?
He's not poisoned.
I don't know how much.
Thought. Could I cut off his lower jaw?
It should be start to become exponential.
I'd say yeah. It would disable his bite. I would count that as a limb.
Easy, baby. Alright, we
The weight of it
gonna do the crit. 12, 16.
53 damage.
it's cubed, right? It's cubed versus just so he doesn't fight bigger, right?
Do I need to separate it? Poison, fire, and slashing?
But his volume, his bond of himself goes.
I realized that I did fall damage to the other warg, so I had to transfer that over.
I'll go next.
Alright, 67 damage on the crit.
That's only his first hit.
Oh.
67 damage on the
Then
first hit.
I'll roll my con save. 'cause I
28 to hit.
roll my con save.
Another natural 20.
God damn.
What a start! Want to take off its leg now?
We're not trying to
We're
kill
taking
you.
out the leg now.
We're not trying to kill you, we swear.
I am doing non-lethal damage, by the way.
He's not.
9. 22. Second crit's 47 damage.
It is bloody, for what it's worth.
And the third hit would be 18, 25, 27 damage.
All right. So this is Razu effectively just in a quick. I would take this almost as like a clean motion. You take your scythe down through its mouth, hit the bottom jaw, just cleave through it, and almost like cutting down. It hits its chest and kind of impacts as you kind of quickly pull it off and sever its front leg as it kind of. Worth noting, despite the bestial nature of wargs and what you would be familiar with, as it hits, it just kind of. The typical almost like yelp or growl that you would get from like a warg, a beast, does not seem to have. In fact, as you've now split its jaw, taking off a portion of it, you'd also expect to see like a decent amount of blood. Instead of blood pouring out, there seems to be a fine, almost brown gravel that's just breaking off of its mouth. Almost looks like it's falling apart.
Should be 9 by 9. That actually is probably right, babe.
That's a beefy dog.
Okay, so with that, that's the end of his turn. Now you can go.
How injured is it? Is it like
It's
on
bloodied.
its left leg? Okay, so it's not blood. Okay. In that case, I'm going to move 20 feet and then, or 15 feet and then 15 feet back. I'm going to make it have a dex save. I'm going to be in the same place. I'm doing.
Can you fly?
Yes. I'm doing a breath attack. Needs to make a dex save and then returning to my original location.
Breathing so that that's also a natural 20. They're out in spades, so it succeeded.
It does take half damage. That would have been really sad because it's a lot of damage. 12, 17, 18, so it takes 9 fire damage. It cannot be resistant to. And
Hear me
then,
out.
Did you have that or?
Yes, it was 18, half to 9.
Hear me out. Since I'm a huge creature landing on it, it goes prone.
And then
I'll make it roll. Yeah, I'll give it to you. As you hit it, the impact just kind of and almost like crumpled it.
We do half the damage.
So I'm like laying on it with one foot on top of it, holding it down.
actually, because it's prone,
But it can
not
still
a bad
idea
idea.
at me.
Malrith is going
But
to
disadvantage.
basically take the opportunity and leaping
Before you take that
strike
action,
it, basically.
I need to talk to Hiram real quick. It is sort of a rule thing, but it's also a spoiler thing. Just in case.
What?
About the thing going prone.
I mean,
Just
what?
come back here real quick. It's not going to take long.
All right.
Secret.
This combat is sponsored by us, not anyone. We're not sponsored yet.
by delicious snacks.
Yeah. And
The ones we purchased from the store.
and milk.
Mr. Twisty's Twisted Cheese Curls. Okay. We are good. We are good.
I do have advantage on the strike, correct?
She is.
She's got 80 feet of movement.
Yeah,
so.
she can make it. You would have advantage on the strike.
That is a
Alright.
60
Fun fact:
from
you'd
prone.
have advantage on the strike even if it wasn't prone. Gurgle's a huge creature, which means.
You
Oh wait, no,
summons can't
Malrith
flank,
can't do
yeah.
it. Sorry, never mind. Never mind.
No, I've been cucked from that.
So is it prone or no?
It is prone.
Okay. So then it's not what I thought it was.
What the fuck? Does a 16 hit?
No.
Does a 20 hit?
No.
That's some rough rolls, man.
As
End of my
Malrith
turn.
comes in and attempts to bite it, she does bite it, and you can, especially you, Gurgle and Zephyr, you can hear as she bites into it. You just hear the sound of it. Almost sounds like a child trying to bite a rock. Just, and she's like, "This is not soft." She's very disappointed at the lack of the meaty nature to the creature.
Oh yeah, she does.
Bless makes difference.
I have nightmares, by the way.
Does a
Of
22 hit?
22 does it.
Nice.
I have nightmares. My daughter grinding her teeth.
Well,
does it sometimes.
Zephyr has it now too.
Yep.
It's
It's
just
rough.
Malrith
He just
grinding
hears, like,
this
nails on a
ward-like
chalkboard.
creature.
Apparently, it's normal for toddlers, but it's
16,
it's rough.
21, 27 points of slashing
I mean,
damage.
they're not her final teeth.
Well, it also like helps like make them less sharp, I guess, because they're pretty sharp when they curse.
When I cut it and it was like gravelly, like there's no blood at all.
No, it seems to be leaking. So it's almost like it almost looks like it's leaking sand.
Not absorbed by the scythe.
Correct. The scythe would not be absorbing this. Okay, so that would be the end of
So
your
I
time.
know it doesn't even classify as
Yep.
blood. Okay.
Well, I apologize. You need to add 10 damage. I forgot to add my dex modifier to both my attacks. My bad.
This guy.
So it's actually 63 damage plus the 10 falling damage.
We don't have eyes in the bugbear, right?
No.
No, the only ones you have eggs on are these two warg-like creatures. That's weird, Jasmine.
I forgot about the dex modifier.
That might be
So
an
Gurgle is gone,
indication.
Kane is gone, Razu's gone. I need the
A
three of
lack
you.
of some mineral or something.
I'm so scared things are gonna come out of the sand.
Oh, they will.
Move back, Zephyr!
Got on the rock.
I got him held down!
How's that man looking, anyways?
That one is hurt. This one's bloodied.
Also, this one's incapable of biting. And potentially hinder the digging. Maybe. Do they even dig, or do they just...
The goblins look like they dropped into the sound. The wargs seem to actually dig. Oh, gosh. Tiku, Kane, or Zephyr. You know what you
Clay.
guys are doing? Yes.
Tiku pulls
Why have
out
I been doing that so much recently?
her bow. That is weird that she doesn't have to use her feet for because it's so she's bigger
Okay.
sized now.
You have bigger Tiku.
Huh? Oh, I know. I'm saying
After
when I
cutting off
was
his
when I was
jaw,
tiny, we were laughing that we were using the bow with.
Oh,
Her foot
you
because
meant
she's
like
so
actual
small.
feet. I registered that as like a D&D feat, like
Oh, no,
like
yeah.
Sentinel.
No. What were you saying, Nate? You can finish before I do my damage.
After cutting off his jaw and his leg, Razu would then look back at Zephyr in a moment of clarity.
Were we gonna kill them non-lethally?
I'm misty stepping.
Okay. So apparently you're going before Tigu then.
That's fine.
Carry on.
I don't think that was a good spot, Zephyr.
Yes, actually. He is not in the dirt. He is actually on the ground. He has a hand crossbow in his hand and a no
Cutlass?
rapier. He has a rapier in the other hand.
Rapier.
Sure. His back is up against the wall. He actually has not noticed you as he is looking to the right.
Just a little hit. Just walk away. I can't kill him.
I was gonna say he doesn't have his spells.
I'm just gonna fire bolt the man.
Okay.
Okay,
You
lightning
do
bolt.
have advantage. He does not realize you're
Yeah,
there.
because I'm sneaky.
You and your disadvantage on stealth, I'm pretty sure.
No, actually, I don't have disadvantage because
Oh, really?
I have mithril.
Oh.
I do.
I don't know why I didn't roll it. Yeah. So that is 26 to hit.
It's never gonna hit.
I'm just gonna hit the button. So I don't have my dice out yet. 13.
13, you say?
I mean, 30 is the high end, right?
What is math?
It's like 30.
You say this every time.
Listen, I never struggle with math
Yeah.
except for when I'm playing D&D. And as soon as I'm playing D&D, it's like, what's this plus this or this minus this? And I'm like,
All right, and I move my 3 steps away, like probably go diagonal 1 and then back 2.
This way?
Yeah, and then back
You
up.
charged your arm, right?
All right.
As Zephyr just runs up.
Does a 17 hit?
A 17 does not hit, assuming you're shooting at one of the wargs.
Man's gonna be like,
Another-
the fuck.
Tigger can't see him. But Zephyr did just call out that guy's there. Also, for what it's worth, as you hit him, it like, he kind of like seems almost confused for a moment, and then he looks up at you. You get the impression that he can't hear.
I would then look at Zephyr again.
No, seriously, are we killing them or no?
We are not.
I mean, we're doing what we have to survive right now.
Good to know, good to know.
I think we should follow Kane's lead. He's the dragon wizard.
The dragon
He says don't kill him.
So Zephyr's
Warrior-
not making any commitments here because he's like, I will fucking murk them all if I have to.
Well, I assume it's a hit. 22 and 21.
21 does not.
Also, I'm
21 does not hit.
convinced
Oh.
the creatures aren't real.
One
They're
hit.
they're
Constructs?
That's
Yes.
really bad.
They don't bleed. Can confirm that.
I'm pretty sure the constructs seem to be made.
Golems, possibly.
So feel free to destroy those.
Are we killing the goblins?
Can you non-lethal a construct?
Only if
Or
you have
from
to.
my understanding
says
of
try
constructs,
not
you
to.
can't because you'd have to break them before they stop working.
Make a nature check.
But sometimes
Actually,
there's collateral damage.
for a construct, I'm going to say make an arcana check.
Confirmed construct.
Would I just know that then? Because I have a passive 26.
20. Dirty.
I'd say that all three of you know that constructs, in order to kill a construct, you have to break its core.
But it looks black.
Typically, just doing damage to it breaks its core.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is to say that you could break it down enough that it can't function without breaking its core. You can non-lethal a construct. That is the answer to your
That's
question.
called disassembling it.
So how I would do it is if I roll enough 20s to cut off all of its limbs, it can no longer move.
Sure.
Any creature. Then you just be a turd
Chaotic good barbarian.
rolling around in the wind.
Or you'd be invincible.
What we got on the damage, Tiku?
You'd be this headless, faceless thing.
I'm invincible!
Because I missed
Have you
the
seen
second
Venom?
attack, I get advantage on my bonus action.
I still don't know if I've seen Tiku do it.
Have you seen-
I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I haven't seen it in so long.
The Black Knight,
I don't remember it.
where
You
he
don't remember the
cuts
Black Knight?
his arms off and then his legs off, and he's like, "All right, we'll call it a draw."
All right, I apologize, Jasmine.
Vaguely
The playlist is not
remembered
all the
something
same.
about it.
Get back
Dice
here!
is too
I'll bite your legs off.
I was laughing at Tiki's dice. What damage you talking?
5. Less.
Question: does this even roll? I just
It doesn't. Oh, it did roll.
I was just
I
curious
was
if I
wondering
just
if
set
it
it
did
off,
roll.
it would
Less?
just be the same
Sorry,
number.
slow here. I'm getting distracted by my dice.
There's something wrong with the dice tower.
It's gone forever.
8, 3, 8. Oh, it's still
Yep.
There's actually something wrong with your dice tower.
No, it's that her dice are
19.
thick.
19, 12 plus 19?
No, 19 total.
Okay, that one is bloodied as well.
Okay, I made it through here.
Okay, and then I believe we still
Oh,
have
it's stuck
Kane.
in the stairs.
You're the last that needs to go. I did it again. Clay.
I was
about to
like,
say, how about me?
You are the last person to go. And I
Alright,
just-
Deku does not do a lot of damage
I
with the bow.
am going to
Especially when they have a
shoot
22 armor class.
the goblin down there.
you cannot see, so he's the only goblin.
No, no, no.
you could see the ward of the
Oh,
ward.
wait, what is that next to it?
That's Razu.
Oh,
You want to shoot him?
You are a
I'm
goblin.
gonna shoot the ward.
Ugh! What is that ugly thing?
Wait, I know that thing.
And what's the wog next to it?
11 to hit.
11 does not hit.
Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Okay, so that would be
Pretty
one.
sure we've confirmed their armor class is 20 or 21.
It's 22, actually, as Kayla just missed with a
Right.
21.
Well, so far, my rolls have not been above a 10 this session yet.
Wait,
is
if she
unfortunate.
hit with the
Advantage on
22, does
attacks.
that mean their armor class is
Do you have a bonus
21?
action you want to use?
Can I use my bonus action just to reload my bow?
You
My crossbow?
cannot. The movement, I said yes, but bonus action.
I mean, he
would not
uses
without the-
movement as well. He hasn't moved.
You did not move this turn because he stayed. So you could if you wanted to use your movement.
So you're
Based on-
saying
Okay, I'll
you could
use
if you
the
had a bonus action dash.
No, if you have the crossbow expert feat. It literally makes a bonus action to reload. It's part of the feat.
I thought it just meant auto reload.
No. That said, I would also allow a bonus action dash to reload the crossbow, based on what I've done with it. Okay, so that would be the end of your guys' turn. So first off, 2 wargs.
Who's hitting who?
It's gonna attack you. So this one's gonna attack you, Gurgle.
I got scared for a moment because it pointed towards me.
Just get advantage. Which is feeling better. They are rolling really low to attack too. The highest they've rolled is a 7.
Oh, that's right.
16, which I'm confident misses you. That thing only has 1 attack, so the next one's on you, who also reckless. It's 2 natural 1s.
Goddamn!
I just got a natural 1 with advantage.
That's the opposite of getting a natural 20 with disadvantage.
So the way I'm gonna interpret that is it actually tries to bite you, and like not quite
realize.
registering that the bottom part of its jaw is gone, as effectively it just like hits you with the top part of its mouth as it realizes that it can't bite, and then like almost in reaction it goes to swipe as well, and that's the leg that's gone, and it almost instead kind of like falls on itself as this warg entirely misses everything.
I feel like Razu was so fast with his attacks. It just took him off in the heat of the moment. Didn't even realize they were gone.
No, so when it goes to bite, its jaw falls
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
And when
it
it goes to
falls off.
swipe, its arm falls off. It's just like, what?
And then as I would pick up my scythe again and be like,
You poor thing.
as I would hit it again.
Posting it again.
It's 27 to hit.
27 hits.
Or better thematically.
Wait, you went battle master?
He does that, and then he just puts
Yeah.
his scythe like on his
Oh,
back.
he's
or as it
slow.
goes to bite him, like he's just like
The black
willing to
one's
like let
slow.
it go at him free, and just jaw falls off then, and then arm falls off.
Are you a battle master with Sentinel?
Like the whole like katana, like
30.
Yeah,
32?
yeah.
As Razu getting attacked, like you saw the hydraulic jaw and or this like hydraulic like jaw, and you like called out to
Non-lethal?
everyone. You're like, these these things have like empowered John. And Razu is like, are we not lethally killing these? As it just completely fails, and he just destroys this warg.
Yes.
As he again asks, are these non-lethal? As he hits it and it crumples into pieces.
They're constructs. It's fine. Try not to kill the sentience.
Okay, so with that,
Wait, so can you not?
you can, but he did damage and then he asked, which means that it's gone.
He said non-lethal. Right.
He said non-lethal the second time.
It's a construct. It's rock.
We'll say there's remnants of its core still on the ground.
We asked him.
But you did break it into pieces. With that, is all three of them can make it out, and they were gonna go for Kane. They've changed their mind. As for you, Razu, as you asked,
Those
you
little
kind of like
goblins.
turn back to the left. The way this actually looks for you is as you're kind of like looking forward, and this would be in particular odd for you. You guys are looking at the stone as they almost just seem to step out of it. Almost looks like they were like camouflaged, like they were painted into the rock as they kind of just step out. Does anyone actually speak Goblin here? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so you would just hear them as they walk out and they're looking up, and then the one that's on the right points at you, Razu, and just and the other two, like looking at Kane, look down to you, and their eyes kind of squint as they all three charge you.
My bad.
Okay, and then for what it's worth, the last one is staying with his mission.
Is that the bugbear?
The bugbear, a little bit more accurate to what you would actually.
That goblin still over there?
Oh yeah, don't forget about this guy.
He moved, so he technically doesn't know where he is. He's not there anymore.
That's why I figure about better cameras.
He's down.
Easy.
There's the three of them look at you and immediately charge you. The bugbear popping up in front of you. Excuse me. Popping in front of you, he actually says, but does not move his mouth as he speaks telepathy to each of you. He says, "Don't worry, I would never hide in the sand."
Apparently, he hijacked our telepathic link.
He has disadvantage
Just
to hit.
detect thoughts for what it's worth.
Disadvantage to hit him.
What is he? Oh, yes,
Why?
he does.
Tiku.
Tiku
Oh, Tiku
used her
protect
action.
action?
No, that was last action.
I was gonna
You
say.
just
That was
attacked.
last round.
You just attacked, so he is good.
What did she attack?
What did she attack?
Oh, she shot her bow. That's right. That's right.
Shot my bow at the wall.
It's a 26 on the first attack to hit. That is a 18 on the second attack to hit.
I'm going to use my reaction and give myself +5 AC. As again, the draconic golden wings basically envelop me, causing his attack to miss.
Okay, and then does a 20 hit with that?
It only lasts once. It's literally just an inferior shield, and it's so sad. So yes.
Okay, so it'll be a 19, and then his fourth attack is a 21.
4
So that'd be
attacks.
3
Dude.
attacks.
Shield would have been goaded, but no, my thing's just worse.
Doesn't he miss 3
Shield.
attacks if you have shield there?
Yes, he would have missed 3 times if he had shield. He would have only hit him once. Okay, first attack. Oh my goodness, I am so sad. First attack's a 9 damage. It is piercing. Oh wait, sorry, +3, so it's 12.
Are you in your dragon form?
Yes.
Second attack is much better. Second attack is 21 damage.
Ow. This isn't cold or fire, is it?
No, this is piercing.
Okay.
Then the third attack is 18 damage.
Ow.
As for how that would actually look for you, again, this is a little bit odd. As he swings his mace at you and hits, there's almost like a phantom arm behind him that swings with his strike. And it, for a moment, it almost looks like when you're seeing something move just fast, and it's like you can see duplicate. And like there's that split moment of you're like, oh, that's kind of weird, till the impact hits and you realize that this phantom arm is actually...
Isn't that what Rudar's did?
Yes, that is how Rudar's attacked.
Is it the same as how Rudar's attacked?
I would say make a rune weaving check.
Is his weapon...
Oh, I'm terrified now. Rune weaving?
Is his weapon...
Natural 20 for a 26.
It's the exact same.
Wait.
In fact, as you think about it and you get hit, kind of confused, you look back and you see similar runes going up the mace and down his forearm.
I just almost snarl slightly. Rune weaving.
What? That is his turn. Now the 3 on you, as they have.
Advantage hit.
They actually would have advantage anyways because they have pack tactics, as they are in a group. 22 to hit.
It's
23.
it's
24. You're rolling really well. That's 3 attacks. 20. Hits. So that's 4. 18.
it's
How much you get left up?
5. Natural 20 for 6.
can't be crit.
50
Oh
damage.
wait, that is 6. Each of them have 2 attacks. So that would be it.
Can't
All
be
of them
crit,
hit,
so
but can't
don't
be crit.
calculate that damage.
And then you're not. Are you immune to poison?
No.
Okay, you need to make 6 Constitution saving throws. Each one has its own
Is
poison.
it a magical effect?
He's not immune to the poison
No.
condition, right?
No, he's not. And the answer to you would be no, because this is poison imbued weaponry.
22.
DC is only 14.
Okay.
You just gotta do it 6 times and beat 14 every time.
Yeah.
I succeeded every time.
Cool. Okay, so you are not poisoned, but you do still take the poison damage, or part of it.
If it's like normal poison, like, he still takes full damage on the poison. He just doesn't get poisoned.
This specifically does poison damage, and if you succeed on the throw, you take half of the poison damage. It's in their kit. So first strike is 14 damage. I'm adding it all together.
How much is the slashing though? 'Cause
The
remember
slashing was
it's
8 in that case. Oh, that's true. I actually do. So everything's halved. So that'd be what it is. So it's just 10 damage then.
Okay.
So you're taking half damage on everything because you exceeded all the checks. Second attack is 32 half to 16. 24 half to 12. That's 3. Ooh. 38 half to 19. That's 4.
And they are effing you up. These goblins are effing you up.
18 half to 9.
This goblin's kind of hurt.
They were supposed to go after him, but you killed one of their wargs. And then 31 half to 15.
Why the fuck these goblins fucking hurt? No.
As these goblins, for what it's worth, each of them either has a bow strapped on their back or a crossbow held in hand. But so 2 of them specifically have crossbows and a rapier. One of them has a bow strapped on his back and is dual wielding short swords. And then the last is wearing gauntlets that have effectively he's got like brass knuckles on
All
both of
fucking
them.
runes?
As you take a quick glance, all of their weaponry has different runic symbols on them.
If we win, do we get to take their loot?
Depends if you kill them or not. Okay, that is the end of their turn. Oh, sorry. Oh no, he can actually do it too. So this goblin actually would get to move. So based on where he was, he came up right here. I didn't think he'd have the movement, but he does. So for you, Zephyrs, you kind of like back up and you're kind of focused. Out of your peripheral, it almost looks like the stone just kind of. And for how this looks to you is he kind of. And then just sinks back into the stone.
So he shot at Zephyr, and Zephyr's got a. Or did he shoot at somebody else?
No, this guy's shooting at Zephyr for a natural 20.
Goddamn.
Without advantage. This guy. Okay, so you also need a Constitution saving throw.
Hold on, hold up, wait a minute. Is he within 30 feet?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 feet.
Isn't Silvery Barb 60?
Oh, Zephyr's in 45 feet. The Goblin's much further than that. Goblin's
No, I was only talking about that.
Yeah, no, Zephyr's 45 feet
Yeah,
away.
but I'm pretty sure Silvery
Constitution
Barb's
saving
60
throw,
feet. if that
DC
matters.
14. Did you succeed? Did you fail?
Oh, sorry. I'm checking a thing real quick.
Unfortunate.
Do I have?
I just
Yeah,
realized
seeing
I got
something
quite
like that.
lucky. I have a 25% chance to fail any of those con saves. Rolling.
Succeeded if you
downstairs.
can.
What? Yeah, I know. All right. Con save. Oh wait, I got a D4. That's right.
Does everyone have boss?
Yep.
Ooh, I should have rolled it on mine. I didn't know.
It's only
I mean,
12.
so far
or
it hasn't
13.
mattered for me.
13.
But
DC is a 14.
Nope.
Oh! So that
He's
is...
poisoned.
You are poisoned.
That's fine.
You
I
take
don't care about poison.
21 points of piercing damage,
Okay.
and then 46 points of poison.
Then 46.
I gotta get some of their poison. What the
Okay.
fudge kind of
I'm
poison are
gonna
they
ask those
using?
numbers.
Rune weaving, apparently. This is bullshit.
I made my concentration checks.
I gotta get some of their
Okay.
poison.
All right.
I need to get my
Okay.
poison
Sorry.
or.
What were the numbers again?
21 piercing,
Leveled up.
46 poison. As for you, what this would look like is this arrow hits you. Is this particular goblin has a long bow. As he comes out, he shoots the arrow. You see, it's almost like a streak of green light. Almost reminds you of like an eldritch blast. As the arrow hits, you expect the impact, but instead it hits and kind of, and you immediately just feel it spread into your veins. As it's almost like the arrow shrinks into you. The impact itself did break, like piercing through the armor, piercing into skin, but almost like as soon as it came in contact with your blood, almost like it activated the arrow. It kind of just immediately, you almost like start to cry. You have a little bit of blood that almost like starts to trickle out of your nose, some out of your ear, a little bit out of your eye as the poison seeps through your body. With that is the end of their turn. It's back to you guys.
All right. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start this off right now because I have it, and this is best. Best I'm gonna use it. We're doing fireball.
The Giga Fireball?
Giga fireball. Everything.
You hitting Razu?
I mean, I can avoid
I mean,
people.
you can hit this guy.
I can
and all
avoid
the
people.
goblins.
I got charge to avoid people with and all
Avoid
that.
folks.
I need to confirm one.
You best be lucky that they went for me, because if you don't include resistance, they did 163 damage.
They wouldn't hit me.
60
Fair.
foot radius.
I'm saying, if you get hit by everything,
60
them
foot
goblins
radius,
did
god damn.
163 damage.
I do need to
Good
check
lord.
something.
Yeah, they just wouldn't hit me.
Good.
I think the nat 20 would have hit me.
You go ahead and
Well,
roll.
crit you, and I can't
Oh, wait, no,
crit.
it's max, isn't it?
Yep,
Yeah,
that would've
it's
just been
max-
one
max
attack.
damage at
one
7th
crit
level.
isn't as bad as 6 attacks.
True. Okay. Just need finish rocks.
So that's 12d6.
Shit. All right, cool. Okay, I'm just gonna roll for the goblins, the wargs, and then so it's gonna be 3 rolls: one for the bugbear, one for the goblins, one for the wargs.
He doesn't have counterspell. We're good.
Wargs, it's another natural 1. It's my 4th natural 1 I've rolled.
Why the what warg?
That's the 5th natural 1 for the
Where's he
goblins.
fireballing?
I think everywhere.
Literally, it's a 60-foot radius.
Boy, he's cooking the arena?
He's
Pretty much, yeah.
Almost the center of the arena,
we
yeah.
just, we just rolled
Is he
2.
heightened spelling doubling the radius or something?
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
It's the
That's what his
arm.
arm does.
The arm.
Jesus.
I can store lightning
Again,
in it.
we're going to be going to a very high
yeah,
level
yeah,
in this
yeah.
campaign.
He's hitting the whole center of the
So,
arena.
natural 1 on the wargs, natural 1 on the goblins, and then a 22 for the bugbear.
20 is the save.
Okay, so bugbear succeeds. The other ones fail. One more time with the damage.
102.
Bugbear takes 51.
Spells cannot be non-lethal, by the way, as just disintegrated the. Just absolutely evaporated.
construct
theory pans out. And the goblins all are bloodied and looking pretty rough, but
Okay.
none of them are dropped.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping for. Anyone got any good whacks out of them?
Right. You said 122?
102.
Hey, Kane, how are you?
102.
health-wise?
Yes.
So 51 for the bugbear.
Lightning.
All right.
I will.
Goodness
And
gracious.
just
Do you know how much damage that would have been like retained if they succeeded?
Right. All right. I'm going to move towards the edge of this. Well, I want to get to Gurgle. Or like, maybe I want to get to the. I don't know. I need to freaking move though. I don't like where
All
I'm at.
right.
Okay.
We're in the
I'm
middle.
gonna I'm gonna climb down.
Zephyr needs to finish.
I'm gonna climb down.
Okay, so are you actually climbing? So double movement. So it'll be 5, 10, 15. If you jump, you have to take the d6.
Wouldn't that be 20?
But then I risk the concentration. I don't want to risk the concentration. Yeah, we're gonna climb down.
But
Yeah.
hypothetically, couldn't you climb down 5 so you don't take fall damage and then drop?
That's why it was only 10.
Okay.
So it's 5, 10, 15 to the floor.
And then I'll just try to move towards Gurgle.
No,
probably.
the bugbear.
Wait.
Move towards the bugbear.
Wait, The bugbear. Towards the
Bugbear's that way,
You
Gurgle's
need
that
to
way.
move towards the bugbear because that's where I'm going.
I don't want to.
He does not want to get in melee range.
He's not going to be.
No. Towards Gurgle.
Towards Gurgle.
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 Apologies. I was listening to
Zephyr doesn't want to get in melee.
I remember hearing Gurgle, and I was like, no, I'm not listening to Gurgle.
If anything, I'll get on Malorith.
Okay, that is the end of Zephyr's turn.
Getting him out is not a bad idea.
I would
That might be what I do here.
non-lethally.
Hour
First
is gonna
attack's
go
gonna be a
hostile.
cleave.
Okay. Does cleave adjacent targets, or is it one adjacent target?
It's within 5 feet.
It's one extra attack
Within
on an
5 feet of your
adjacent
target.
target.
So, but it's adjacent
how does
target,
combat
not targets.
mountain
That's what
Yeah.
I was just trying to make sure of. I just wanted to make sure they didn't change it.
yeah, it's just one. you get-
Natural 20.
If you're doing non-lethal, just so you know, you can't non-lethally chop off a limb. You'd have to elect to not chop off a limb.
Or you take off a finger.
Limb.
Looking at those gauntlets.
Ligament. Limb.
I mean, you could cut from like
make a
the
decision.
forearm down, and then they'd be bleeding out. You'd have to stabilize them.
You have to.
But again, that's not non-lethal damage.
All right.
I'm telling you that he just blasted them, and I just told you they were bloody and they're looking hurt. You take off a limb, you kill it. Just so you know.
We'll not. What's great is this is the first attack, so we get extra 2d6s, baby. Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh. I have like 2 HP.
Cleave, still, you have to roll an attack for the second one. It doesn't just take your crit, by the way.
That
That's
is
not how
true.
cleave works.
I
And you
didn't
also-
know that was not how that worked, but that's fair.
You make an extra attack.
Yes.
2 plus 30.
It's not the same attack.
62
It seems
damage.
Like it should be.
First one is you see the blood in Rasu's eyes as he like and then he like realizes and flips the scythe and just blunt to the side of the head of the goblin, just dunk.
Just straight domes him.
Okay.
Taco Bell sound and everything.
Second one is
Dong.
29 to hit.
29 hits.
Now I'm almost out of spells. Yeah, one more.
No, it's good. I'm glad because
But which one do I
36.
have?
36 damage again as you in the blunt. You kind of just like and both of them just knocked out. The goblin next to you kind of like looks down. He goes,
Just 'cause it's scrolls and stuff.
You can still do your cleave attack.
Sorry!
That was more so quizzical. He didn't seem as upset.
Another natural 20.
In this case,
It's actually a different dice too. It's not the same dice. It's a different dice. It's like rotating between the 20s.
you know how cleave works, right? You only do the weapon damage, nothing else. It's basically just a D12.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't do that. The second one
Then
was
this is
supposed
your
to be
cleave.
the
This
cleave.
is your
Then this would be the cleave.
This
But
is
it's
your
still
cleave.
a crit.
That means it does the D12.
Yeah.
So
D12 plus
do-
your strength mod. That's it.
12 plus.
And then it would do an
12
additional
plus a
12 because you
D12.
crit. This is your cleave.
You gotta do
So
it.
just roll a
Well,
D12.
we decided
roll
we
a
could
D12.
have it be the 2d6s though, yeah?
Your 2d6 has already been used.
No,
It's on
not,
your first attack.
not the
No, I know
barbarian.
He's talking about
the
Great
answer
Weapon
is
Master.
The weapon damage is 2d6.
You have to use the weapon that you're using for your mastery.
If it's 2d6 instead of a D12, then
And I believe
do
you're using the great
2d6.
axe, which is a D12.
Okay.
It's because his scythe can change. And he's choosing which one.
It
Plus
is
12 plus your strength modifier.
which
10
is
plus
9,
12, which is 22, plus your strength modifier.
31 plus the. Do
It's
I not get the
22.
barbarian plus?
I would
22
assume
plus your strength
No,
modifier.
you don't get to add anything to this attack. It's
You would
just
still get your
the
barbarian
weapon.
attack. Any attack. The barbarian just says it as its
Oh,
attack.
okay.
So you get the plus 2 from barbarian.
33 damage.
22 plus your
2
strength.
is 24. What's your strength modifier?
I mean, doesn't it
7?
get plus 9 because of the weapon?
No.
Is a plus 2 weapon?
Yes. Jeebus. Again. As you guys just watch Razu, just all three of them just those three goblins in front of him just Razu is just slamming these things.
Oh,
As
so
I would then-
we're not sparing them.
Well, he knocked them
They're
out.
unconscious.
I would
He
then
blindsided him.
jump up to the
They're
bugbear
unconscious.
and
You just slapped
use
them.
Hue to hit the bugbear.
Isn't cleave a bonus action?
No, cleave is just a extra attack.
It's just the mastery.
It's kind of like Nick.
10, 15. You still do need to make an athletics check. You're climbing. It's not an action, but you need to make an athletics check to climb.
Don't I
Sure, you
not?
just
Because I have a
auto-passes.
high enough strength mod that I can just stand jump 10 feet.
Yeah.
He just
I stand
jumped
quick.
in.
Rozu just walks up to the base. I feel like Rozu is just taking this whole thing casual. He's like, goblins? Let's hit him. He's like, you guys are pretty good. Pop, pop, pop. Runs up, jumps up. What about this one?
That's a 32 to hit.
Yeah, again. He's just, carry on. Rozu is
I
just
can't roll above a 10
slamming.
and this guy's critting every other hit.
I know, right?
He is too. Like he's. I
We
can
are
see
going
it.
to hit him with the battle maneuver menacing attack.
I don't think you can use 2 maneuvers in one turn.
You can use a maneuver every
Maneuver
attack.
every single attack.
One
Cleave
maneuver
isn't
per
a
attack.
Once
Cleave
per
is
attack.
Cleave is a
mastery.
It's a mastery for the
Great
weapon.
axe weapon mastery.
And also,
There.
that wouldn't matter
So
anyway. He could attack 3 separate times and use a different battle mastery on every. There's a reason battle mastery is one of the hardcore fighters.
To mount something, you have to use half your movement.
But
Team.
if you're using Great Weapon Master, though, you gotta remember to minus your attack.
Actually, yeah, I still climb
No,
down.
Great Weapon Master no longer does
Okay,
that.
stop there. And then when
Now it just adds your proficiency.
It adds your
to
proficiency,
your
no
damage.
negative
And
She would
damage.
just be-
your action to get on.
So if you have
And
a,
it gives you
if you have a
heal.
+4
Because I have
proficiency,
my
it just gives you +4 to the.
And then you can get your choice of strength or
Makes sense.
dexterity or con plus
be back here.
a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit
Why not
less
just
damage,
stay on
but
top?
it's a lot more.
Because he doesn't have enough movement to
accurate.
actually get to her and mount her. So he's hoping that she'll just come up
She
to him.
could just pick him up on top. But
She can pick me up right there too.
Okay.
Okay,
like
that
Damage
afterwards.
on the fourth
So I
hit,
was like,
technically,
I'll
with the
do
cleave.
that.
does the damage need
I
to be
just wasn't
separate?
sure how like.
With the bugbear,
what
yes, it
amount
does.
you took for
Okay,
action economy.
so we got
It's half your movement.
3 fire damage. And then we got
All my copies are just gone.
then
Archer
31,
somewhere.
No, my words are gone too.
31 slashing damage.
yeah, that's an elite goblin. That's not a normal goblin.
There's an archer stealth sniping people somewhere.
Okay. You said 30 what? Sorry?
31 slashing, 3 fire.
Okay, as you bring your weapon up, this guy being a little bit more hardy, you actually take a swing trying to get a chunk, and you hit him in the side, and it cuts and just gashes through him. As he kind of, he looks down, and you just watch as it kind of. Not only does it seem to heal, there is not even a remnant of the wound. And as he looks down, he goes, "Perhaps you've, nah, maybe." As he looks back towards you and says, "I guess this would make the game fun." And he just turns his back toward you and looks towards him.
Oh god.
To the point that if you choose to attack him, you will have advantage. He has completely disregarded you. With that is the end of Razu's turn. Sorry, he just did so much that Zephyr's gone, Razu's gone. It's the 4 of you,
I'll
right?
go. I would like to dispel magic him, specifically targeting his rune weaving
Yeah, it's
Armor weapon.
arm.
Okay, go ahead and roll. 8th.
and you don't have to worry about not hitting.
That's so sad. 17 on the die though, so
Still enough is the runes on his arm just
how I would basically do this is as he turns away, I just almost snarl that just small amount of draconic pride of you dare disregard me, and I almost just latch onto his arm and the breath attack just cooking his arm as the runes almost seem to be seared shut for temporarily.
okay. Taking that a little bit further, almost, I would actually say you almost like bit onto his arm, and you've almost like as he pulls his arm away, you look as you see just like burns all along his arm, and it almost looks like the runes have just been burned away. They're still there, carved into his flesh, similar to what you had seen with Kaio. But as he looks down on him, and the light in the runes seems to go out, and he goes,
Like the one hand.
interesting.
And I just snarl at him.
Okay.
Marith is. I'll let you decide. Is she all right with people riding her?
She would prefer to carry.
But it takes an action to carry you.
It would be an action, yes. So it would be dragging.
Because he is saving his movement, could she use his movement to carry him?
No, she would have to even let him on. And just so you know, she prefers it. She's also not against it. Like if she needed to, the only caveat that she would have is if you, for example, the guy that you met, if you're like, oh, you jump on Mara, she'd probably be like, it's fuck you. But with this group, she's gained enough respect for both you and for them that she would be okay with it. It was just not a preference.
Okay.
You might need to give her a treat if you actually have.
Why do you want to mount her out of curiosity?
Because I don't want to be on the ground.
You weren't on the ground.
No, I'm on the rock. That's still scary.
She has to get in melee.
He got cooked, dude. He took like 80 damage.
She's getting into melee. So
Well, I mean, it's fine. Just
Okay.
I want to stay either with the party or in the air. Don't want to be here by myself or some crazy creature to come and rip me into the ground.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of options here, okay?
All right. In that case,
So you gonna pick him up or no?
Yeah, she'll pick him up.
Pick him up. So it's gonna be your action.
She'll take her action to basically lift him up.
Okay, so that does not take your reaction.
Oh, okay.
And she's going to pick you up. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
And she's gonna fly over there and drop him off on.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
She's a large creature.
Large creature would still be taking half movement. You have to be 2 categories higher to move creatures freely.
I'm so
Okay.
scared.
Wouldn't he drop her off with the party though?
She has 80 feet of movement.
He gets to say where he drops him off. So no.
I just want
She has
to
80 feet of movement. Did you say 60?
That will 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. No, that was 80.
Okay. Then yeah, that'll be.
So
the
why
end.
couldn't I get a ride?
She would actually respond to you as just, I don't really like people riding me. But I'm supposed to bring you over here for some reason.
I'm very confused about this too.
Same.
You said you didn't want to be on the ground.
These are characters. It is what it is.
Am I just?
Do you want to move?
She's flying with you in the air, yeah.
Oh, I
So
thought
he's
you said-
straight up just ignoring
You
me?
will not provoke
she
an attack of
is,
opportunity. Even after you
Wait,
burned him,
so
like
she
he
sent me
looked
on the
down, like
ground,
almost like
away
as
from
you're
the party,
biting onto his arm,
where the
he
two
looked
things
down
I
at you,
didn't want.
you pulled off, and then he just kind of, interesting.
No, I think she's still like with her in
I'll
the air.
take off 10
She's
feet in the air
flying
then,
towards.
just above Clay to still be in his
Am I?
aura range, but out of melee range.
I thought
Okay,
he dropped
I'm
me
just gonna go up.
down.
She hasn't dropped
She's
you
still
yet.
holding you.
Okay.
She did not have
How
enough
high,
movement.
how high up are we?
You could use your
Probably
reaction
5
and your
feet.
movement
10
to just
feet.
drop if you want, though.
10 feet.
You're not high enough
Okay.
to have fall damage.
Okay, that's the end of Kane's turn. You gurgle KLA.
He needs to make a.
So we don't know where
He
the.
needs to make a Wisdom saving throw DC 20
Why?
for menacing attack, as I said.
For which one? Sorry.
he
The,
was
the attack I did on the bugbear, menacing
menacing
attack.
Oh. 20. Exactly.
Does that mean he fails?
No, if he meets the check, he succeeds.
He succeeded.
So he got a total of 20.
Menacing attack just makes you go. It's fear. Makes you fear.
Frightened, but yeah.
You
You do not know where the other goblin archer is. He
I'm
seemed to
gonna
see
I'm
back
gonna
over there.
I'm gonna shoot the bugbear.
Okay. In a similar fashion to Kane, you have advantage. He has disregarded you guys entirely.
Kill me!
The first time above a 10. So we got a nat 20 there.
Definitely gonna hit.
No, I have advantage.
He does have advantage.
Oh, so that was just the first attack.
Yeah, so that would be 12 lightning damage and 16 plus 3,
So 19.
19 piercing.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my move action to reload and then shoot him again.
Okay. Go ahead and make your second strike, also with advantage.
13 there. Oh, so 13 plus 8, 21.
21 to hit?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That does hit, yes.
Okay, so then just for 5 piercing and 2 lightning for
A little bit less.
a little bit less.
Are his wounds still healing?
As the 2 arrows hit in the back, and especially with the lightning that hits, it kind of like pulses through his back. He kind of just reaches back and snaps the arrow, and no, the healing, whatever was causing him to heal, seems to have ended. As he breaks it off, he goes, "Forgot what that felt like." Okay, Gurgle and Tiku.
I'm gonna walk behind him.
Okay.
You better surrender.
So this right here would give you flank if you want to. Technically, he's also.
Can other people administer potions to other people?
Yes, it takes
As an action.
to administer, bonus to drink.
Just like Baldur's Gate.
Razu's
want to move?
very concerned about his own health.
Except you can't potion 2 people at the same time.
That is not a thing. You also can't throw a potion
and
at
have it just
people.
will work.
If you throw a potion at someone, you will shatter it on their head. You will do 1d4 blunt damage. No, you'll do your strength modifier and damage, and the potion will be wasted.
Oh, you just.
Sure, I'll give you like a
21
tenth of that. 21 does hit.
You'll heal 1 health per action used to drink it.
I dropped my bow and pulled out my cleaver, by the way.
I thought you said
Dude, I
like
still
you rolled
love-
a natural 1 and like dropped your bow. I was like,
I still love
that's not exactly how it works. I guess if you want
I still
to impose
love
that.
picturing what Tiku looks like shooting a longbow back before she became normal size.
Just like just on the ground.
like literally launching it with her feet, I feel like.
Well, no,
Literally-
she aimed it with her feet.
No,
and then
she has
used her
one foot on
arms.
the one foot on the ground, puts 1 foot, draws it back, holds it like this, and shoots it.
Just Superman's longbow. Well, I'm sorry
She,
for
like-
taking that all away from you guys.
How
She like
could
pegs
you?
it into the ground. Aims it.
That's a thought, kind of like a flagpole.
Peg it in, yeah,
His
then-
longbow just has like a spike on the bottom. And she's just like. I guess at that point, if it was strong enough, she could just stab it and then pull it. Carry on. This is all doesn't matter. I was just waiting for your take.
Hey, look! If we ever get to make a cartoon like Critical Role, this will be important. How we animate
50.
Tiku shooting a longbow.
52 points of damage.
Yeah, damn. Okay.
Did you crit?
No.
Did you unload?
Unload?
Did you use any of your die, your short rest dice? What is
Oh,
that?
no. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
God damn.
You're not the only person that can hit hard. Just welcome to a barbarian and a fighter. When you're in melee, hit things range, you do a lot of damage. That's what you do.
Was that 1 hit?
Yes, that was one.
Trip attack.
Pretty sure
so
seven.
I'm going to try to make him
Single target.
trip. It's a DC strength saving throw.
That's
18.
an 18 on the die, which I believe succeeds.
Success.
Yeah. Longbow TQ
Interesting that they
creation
both
noted.
went Battle Master.
If you
I
draw
don't know,
Tiku
the
shooting a
whole time.
longbow, I will. I already love you, but like I will appreciate you even more.
2 more damage. And then
How much more? Sorry.
just 2.
I know you went Battle Master the whole time. It's just Battle Master. I think it's the strongest fighter spec. It's just interesting.
Oh, man.
It's also just the coolest. It's just fun to play, right? You got a lot of options.
And I'm going to use
Actually, like,
Rally.
I feel like it
Stop
completely.
talking over each
Razu,
other.
you gotta
Keep going.
keep fighting.
Does my weapon have keen or not?
You don't look so good. He gets 9 temporary HP.
Okay.
Razu.
Let's go. We might live. We might live these. As you get this buff, as she rallies you and you get invigorated, the bugbear looking at you is just smiling. He says, "Do you think your friends think they're safe behind me?"
Maybe.
I feel like he's got some AoE attack that he's about to whip on all of us.
He's about to cleave. He's about to
He's
bring out
slow.
Like the effect slow?
Like 10 movement.
His
forward.
movement is reduced by 10 feet.
I was gonna say, oh shit! why did I get a roll for that?
And he has disadvantage on his next
Well, it's
attack
like,
roll.
he has a legendary resistance.
I got this. Wait, I have 1 action. The fuck?
He has disadvantage on his next attack as well.
Okay, sorry. We have no serious bet today. It's fine. Okay, so with that is the end of Tiku's turn. I believe we still need Gurgle.
70 feet closer.
You can get adjacent. That is exactly 70.
I'll 10 feet back.
Oh.
10 feet back with you right there. That puts you. You're like right on the edge of the cliff. That's to you guys. It would be like. Especially when he's raged, Gurgle would be horrifying. Like he's a huge creature.
Oh.
Like I would say he's like frothing with like.
I'm actually not raged.
Oh, he's not right.
No.
So you would have been before.
I can't
but-
rage and focus and concentrate on enlarge.
That's probably good because I was picturing these like massive
I can
Gurgle
only be a
with like almost like
large.
frothing with poison that's like hitting the ground and evaporating the ground.
I can only be a large and rage. I can't be a huge and rage.
He would still look pretty daunting, but with that was your move. That's your movement with the dash. You have an action.
Yeah,
Assuming you used your bonus action to dash, not your action.
Yeah.
True.
21 was the lower to hit.
21 hits him.
21 hits?
Yes.
Do I still have blessed?
Yes.
I guess it was a 22 then. Doesn't matter.
22 also hits him.
I am not gonna poison this one because I can't. 'Cause I don't have a bonus action, so this is not.
Did you already go?
Okay, well, you're rolling the damage. I didn't realize that maneuver. You roll to attack with the weapon when you would do it. So you hit with the weapon and then you do that. So he takes 15 more damage.
Yeah, maneuvers are part of the attack.
Also, Battlemaster
Yeah, but I thought
got
like
pretty
the temporary hit
heavily
points
buffed.
was something separate, but it
Okay,
wasn't. It's part of
15 more.
15 more
That'd be
damage.
slashing because it's coming from your weapon, right?
Yes.
Slashing needs to be
I
separated
think
from
like
the fire.
4 of the maneuvers got.
The three basic types I need separated: bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing.
So,
All of my damage is slashing,
I know.
but it's a magical weapon if it matters.
It doesn't.
29 slashing damage.
Also, my hand axes are silvered.
Because the
That
5
matters.
from your dex modifier is also slashing damage. Right?
Yes.
So
It takes your weapon hit.
34 slashing and 6 fire.
Okay.
And the first hit.
They're both.
Can't read my own handwriting.
And then on the second hit, we'll roll 8 slashing and 9 fire.
8 slashing, 9 fire. Total of 170. Okay. A little bit more. Okay, that's your. I believe that's the end of your turn.
Is he the closest one?
What do you mean he?
Who?
Like the bugbear?
Is he the closest on that side?
No, that's Clay.
This is
I'm
King.
above Clay.
He's 10 feet in the air. Clay is over here, but he's.
I'm
back
10
more.
feet in the air above
There's
Clay.
technically not a creature directly adjacent. He's
So
up in the air.
he's kitty corner to him, but still within a 5-foot attack radius.
10
No.
foot. He's out of range.
I'm also above Clay, so I'm 15 feet away from the bugbear.
Yeah. Okay.
Was there something relevant behind the question, or is it just
Clay's on that side, and he's
Yes.
5 feet.
He's
I am
10
10
feet.
feet away.
Technically, you're actually 15 feet away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 15 feet away. Yeah, I don't want to be next
Okay,
to him.
well then that doesn't matter. That's all that mattered. I just wanted to know if either Clay or him were close to him.
Okay.
I can't get him out of range of Tiku and Razu, so.
What are we doing?
Oh, getting rid of the.
Nothing. It's fine. You guys are gonna keep doing your thing.
Okay, so that's
Nothing's happening over here.
That's all I
You're
got.
killing everyone, is what's happening.
Nothing's going on.
we're doing so bad. Okay, so that's the end of your turn. It is his turn now. So
We're bringing you an authentic D&D experience.
It's true. Razu, technically all of you would see this but he directly looks towards you. He says, "Well, it seems you're kind of familiar with this, and I got to teach you all that you're not safe at all." At this point, he takes his hand, he drops his mace to the ground as it just kind of hits the ground. He places his hand over his heart, and he just drops to one knee. He says, "Solinar, I need help." And you watch as the fur on his fur almost starts to grow as it grows to like a foot long
What
and
did
almost
he
starts
say?
to writhe as the fur on him
He
starts
said
to.
something. He needs help.
He said, "Solinar, I need help." You guys would be familiar. I know that you guys aren't as much. Solinar is one of the
dragon we
major
rode?
gods. No, Solinar is one of the major gods. She's the goddess of survival, specifically.
Oh, lame.
You would be the most familiar, funnily enough, as the major city surrounding Lone Peak in modern day, Stilmakar, is Solinar's main city.
I would then say,
Tiltafar, sorry.
I was going to say, Stilmakar is
I'm doing
that
great.
way.
Tiltafar, the main city surrounding Lone Peak, is dedicated wholly to the survival of the wildlands, to the point that it's not even as much a city, it's more like a massive nomadic gathering that is now called Tiltafar. But it is almost more of like a tent-style city. Solinar would be the most.
Band around here.
As he kind of like finishing it, as he looks up at you, you see his eyes have completely glossed over and now seem to be glowing a bright yellow. As he kind of like stands up and he says, "Of course, but powers are placed above everything else." So at this point, I don't think I have a large bugbear. He would grow to the large category,
Oh,
and
you actually-
as he actually stands
Oh,
up,
not bugbear. It's a minotaur, but
he seems almost more Yeti-like in nature, as he stands up much in the way that you had seen with Kogal, 2 additional arms, now almost like split off his arm. Rather than growing out of his side, it's almost like it kind of and just rips off of his arms. And then again, from the bottom one, just and rips out another one, as he now has 6 separate arms. His head kind of like just...
Like 6 forearms, they're all connected
and
to the same
almost
elbow?
all at the same base. Yes.
Oh, so it's the same shoulder.
So it all connects down to the same spot, yes. In addition to that, his head kind of and splits, and as it does, rather than it's separating, it's almost like a Matryoshka doll, like there was a head inside of the other head. As they split apart, the larger on the left is the bugbear head that you've seen, and as the right one splits, it is again smaller and it seems more goblinoid in nature. And as they kind of like split off, the goblins for this is yes, for these. So we cannot lose here.
Which one of you is the dumb one and which one of you is the smart one?
Honestly, where's our 2-headed ogres? That would work.
Is that-
great.
is that-
that is the end of his turn.
No,
it is your guys'
that-
turn again.
I would.
I thought you were gonna use the.
I'm just gonna make my day quick and easy and cast Firebolt.
I don't want to be the guy to do this, but are you sure that that's the end of their turn?
Are we?
Hold me still for a moment.
Are we?
Sneaking archer somewhere?
Are we still?
He's right. Hold it
Blue or green?
Wait, what happened?
Probably green for this
Goblin,
goblin.
reminded
There's
him.
another
He's
archer
100%
goblin.
right. I entirely forgot about the other goblin.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh yeah.
I didn't think your god was so grotesque.
So is he kind of like looks
Okay,
at you
actually,
a little
might
bit
change what I
skeptically,
do.
and then he's gonna push everybody off. He's gonna be a little bit awkward.
I just did this.
I'm sorry. We're gonna put you to the side. As you say, I didn't think your god was so grotesque. He says, "Nothing is grotesque in the face of survival." With that, especially
That's
you
true.
guys are
Bear
kind of,
Grylls drinks his own pee.
As you guys are now focused on this, Shkadlin is going to shoot you, Razu, as you.
Fucking damn it, man.
Listen, you.
Where,
I
where-
thought you were the leader
where
of
did he
this
pop out
fucking
from?
shindig.
Okay.
Ranged attacks do get advantage as well.
Okay.
Sorry, what?
Ranged attacks do get advantage on reckless attack.
Correct.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that is cocked.
He grew in size, guys.
He did grow inside, and he
We
sprouted
say-
another head, and technically he has 6 arms. He is not wielding a weapon, but I don't have it
6
in front of
arms?
me.
Hey, what?
No, he had 4 additional arms. So 2 that grew out from the right. It also happened on the left. I didn't describe it, but on the left. But he has 3 arms on each
Did he
side.
pop out of the floor or the wall?
He has popped out of the wall. And for what it's worth, he actually did have to use all his movement to get there, so he is staying right there. He doesn't have enough to get back inside. With that being the case, that's a 26 to hit you, Razu. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
18, I think, is the DC.
Is it a spell effect? Wonderful.
Probably the poisoner feat, but a juiced version of it.
Does a 12 pass?
No.
You're
We're in
poisoned.
inspiration, alright. Wait. It's the archer? Mm-hmm. How much damage did
he-
he do to you?
Like
40
something.
something.
But he crit.
He did crit.
He did crit.
He did 40 something poison damage, but that was just the poison damage. He also did like an additional
21
20
piercing damage.
something.
Yep.
But you're immune to poison.
So I mean,
No,
even if you
not-
half all
He's
of it,
immune to the poison
it's
condition.
like 30.
Oh, but not poison.
Is he immune? I thought he
He's
was
immune to the poison condition.
Oh.
No, actually, I think he's resistant. Not even that.
I mean, I
feel like I
was,
should
but
be.
then
thought you were-
2024 came out.
I feel like I'm gonna overrule that and say you are. Even if
I
it's
thought you-
just
I was like,
storyline wise,
lore-wise, we've always
resist-
I'm gonna
said
say you're at
that.
least.
Blood Hunter didn't get updated,
Bloodhunter didn't get updated,
which means you still would
but the levels changed.
It doesn't matter. You have advantage against poisons. It doesn't matter if it's in the game or not. Razu has resistance against poisons.
So it'll take half damage from poison, but.
Alright, then I'm not going to, because double half kind of works, but,
But
not
is
really.
he? Is he?
Okay.
So he's not immune to the poison.
He's not immune to it. He has advantage.
He's resistant to
No, no, no,
poison
no. I'm
damage.
saying he's poisoned right now.
Yes,
right?
he is poisoned right now.
Okay.
Do I have advantage against it?
Yes, that's what I just said.
Does a 16 pass?
No.
A 16.
Thought you said 14 when
If
you
it's a
said?
poisoner feat.
14 did. 14 does save, but you rolled a 7.
Yeah, but you said I have advantage, so I rolled another die.
I know, and it was a 7. I just saw it.
Plus 8.
Do you have a +8? That's 15
That's
for
15.
one.
My
That's
bad.
still a success.
My bad.
So yes, you would succeed then.
Not the poisoner condition?
It
Crazy.
is not the poison condition. This is actually his weapon.
That was blessed.
Okay, so that is
That also has bluff.
Yeah, he also has bless.
There you go. 16. What did I tell you?
that's 16 points of piercing damage and 21 points of poison.
Half to 10.
Are you still raged?
Yes.
Both of those need to be halved. So 16 plus 21 is 37, 18. Take 18 damage total. Okay. That is the end of their turn.
Okay. Firebolt for lightning damage. 23 to hit.
Hit.
13 damage.
Marvelous.
I'm done.
So, Mr. Healer, the tank's not looking so good.
He's about to look a lot worse.
Probably.
Pretty sure
that's not what he
again, he is not actually talking. He is speaking telepathically.
I
to
feel
all
like
of
there's
you.
2 voices now.
So you're talking to
I would agree.
not speaking skelepathically.
There.
Am I able to get to Razu without getting in melee range of?
You are not. No, because his back is off the cliff, and if you go sideways, you're kitty cornered.
To get, oh,
I mean, I could go first and move around.
to get within 10 feet.
Yeah, you could move around.
I would then go first. And we are going to
Well, second.
move to
I
this
already
side of bro.
I don't matter anymore, but
All right.
You want to know this?
I'm going to.
you still have command?
3 times in a row to get my breath.
I'm gonna go ahead and touch Razu
Kinky.
very medicinally. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds at second level. 48 plus 5.
Do you guys want me to pull him away from you guys, or do you want me to go get the other guy?
So he is large. So he's one category below you, which means you cannot freely drag him. You do have to actually attempt to drag him.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
making sure.
Do you guys want me to pull him away from you?
I'm pretty sure they just want to hit him.
Or
You
want
get
me to
healed for
the-
23 hit
Get the
points.
little guy.
23 HP.
We
So
only
that was
need to get
5
him.
feet of movement. Or sorry, 10 feet of movement to go
But
up.
the
You
little
wanna
guy
go
does
back?
a lot of damage.
I should have moved you up. I knew you were going to do that. Okay. Do you have a bonus action you'd like to use?
Not that I know.
Okay. And then you technically just moved around. I do need your attack.
Yeah, I was gonna do that. 26 to hit.
26 hits.
$17.
17 does not hit.
We rolled 2 3s.
I rolled a double nat 1 earlier. I got a natural 1 on an advantage roll for what it's worth.
Razor's out of juice.
Menacing maneuver.
Wisdom save.
It's a nat 20.
Wonderful.
Rolled 3 of those now. 4 of them, actually, because...
There's been a lot of nat 20s going on.
I mean, to be fair, I had 6 attacks, all with advantage. So I rolled 12 times there. So there's been a lot of rolls. He's rolling the most, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that would be 42 damage. And we missed the second attack, and we are gonna. I'm gonna bonus action, drink a potion.
Okay, so technically this would be a little bit out of order, but for the sake of this, because of the way we did it, it's going to do it at the end of your turn. He's going to use a legendary action. So you drink a potion, and then he... Actually, the way that I'm going to interpret this is you see him kind of like raises, and you come up like you're placing to heal him, and he goes, "You can do that first." And almost like seems to like lower his fist for a moment. In response, the goblin who actually is speaking out loud says, Right, we just simply need to win the mission at hand. It almost seems to try and whisper it like it thinks that you guys can't hear it. But the bug boy
So the little head is the stupid one.
as you say that, and you're like right in front of him, he kind of like turns his head. The goblin head looks at you, not paying attention to the bugbear, and the bugbear just goes. Okay, so you drink your potion. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is now. Let me show you why you should be kind.
I didn't kill him.
As he places his hand on your chest and he says, "Don't worry, I won't kill you either." You need to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 22.
You are in range of clay.
Is this a
And you have
spell?
bless.
This is not a spell.
You have bless, and you're in range of.
For what it's worth, it's called Revenge Impact.
Wonderful.
What you roll?
Or sorry,
I definitely didn't just roll a
Vengeful
natural
impact.
one.
You got a
But
+5.
It doesn't
hear me
matter.
out.
You
6.
don't know.
Normal blood.
Inspiration.
I did.
What's your
Wait, no, I didn't. I just took it because I was resisting. Save me! What the? Wait, that's cocked. That's cocked.
That's a
Tell me
natural
that's cocked.
one. That's,
It looks cocked. for
That's
me.
cocked.
it's you can rest a D4 on that.
I usually do if it's ever not flat.
That's normal. That's
I also
natural.
think
All
that's
right.
normal.
Well, I rolled a double natural 1, so
If
fuck
you can
you.
rest a D4 on that, I feel like that's
You
the
can
thing.
for sure rest a D4
His
on it.
bless
As he-
and his.
The dice
Yeah.
gods gave
And
him
it's
those
alright.
20s, and now they're
As you so
Fucking my
for you,
life.
Kane, as you're the one, you and Clay are the two that have like the front row
hear
view
me
to this.
out.
As he places his hand on Razu's chest, you watch as Razu kind of like, it almost seems to just back a little bit. And much in how in the Dryson Woods, you saw those like almost like that, the fading of a soul. No, like you yourself, like John. I'm explaining how it looks. Much like that, where the soul almost like, you watch as he does it, and there's a moment where you see the goblin head kind of, and it's almost like it starts to almost like grab the soul, and you actually see it start to tear, and then he kind of lessens his hand, and you hear the bugbear hit, go on, and then he just lets go. That is
Didn't you say that when people roll nat ones-
246 points of psychic damage. That said, he has elected to not lethally do it. But what
that
you guys
wouldn't kill
watch
me.
is
It wouldn't
as
kill him.
he...
He has enough HP. It wouldn't kill him, but
No, he just still doesn't kill you. How that actually looks to you, it non-impact almost. It's like he grabs him and then just kind of... And Razu just... and falls over. And as soon as Razu hits the ground, you just watch blood out of his beak just... and just splits. His chest, where the hand just touched, just like the hand almost seems to dig into the flesh, and a hand pit appears on his chest.
Hey, you're the target.
As he takes his hand off, and he goes, sorry. As he kind of like looks at the bed, and he actually says this one out loud. He goes, sorry, he was weaker than I thought. As he now
Bro, I should have succeeded that. I had a plus minimum of a 14.
turns to Tiku. That's what's dropped. You do still have to make that saves.
And he fell off the cliff.
I had a plus minimum of 14.
Came him in.
Was that his whole? That was just his legendary action.
That was just his legendary action. It's still your guys' turn.
God damn it! I wasted a heal.
Yes. I'll go.
Okay.
You just like see that? Like,
I don't think you should be close to him, Dragon Body.
Get away! Landing zone's hot. Get out of here.
oh god.
I'm a little scared to try and heal Razu. I don't know if what's gonna happen.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about healing Razu. I'll take care of him. You leave.
How many legendary actions was that?
Or
was-
wreck this man
that was
something.
That was one legendary action. Okay.
Alright, we're gonna go down and we're going to cast Cure Wounds on Razu.
Somebody needs to come next to me so that we get advantage.
For 10 health.
Okay.
All the health.
You are conscious again.
And
That said, as he heals you, and you're like, and you don't even know what happened. Your chest kind of burns, and like in response, you know when you are startled awake and you look to get up, your body's not responding. You are under the paralyzed condition.
and I'm going to snake out my head and grab the mace with an item action and fly away.
Can he? Can
He is going to use his reaction not to attack you, but to attempt to take the mace. So he's using his attack of opportunity, but he's using it to try and take the mace.
to grab the mace back
I'm going to have you make a
Grapple?
sleight of hand check.
or sleight of hand.
It should be like an opposed athletics.
I would also allow, it depends on whether or not you're trying to keep it from him, or he grabs it and you're just trying to pull it.
Well, I'm
I'll-
definitely not doing athletics, but neither
If you're trying to
one's gonna
sneak it away,
succeed.
yeah.
I'll let you
Slide
choose.
it,
Your
sneak
choice.
it.
You can sleight of hand to just kind of like nimbly take it, or athletics would be you both grab it and you're just trying to pull it from
I'm
him.
gonna go sleight of hand because it's the only way I had to stand even a chance.
You're like, what's that?
17.
21. You actually almost beat it.
I
You did
literally
not-
had to roll a 19 to even tie him.
I mean, for what it's... Never mind. Okay, as you go to grab it and you like try to nimbly take it away, but while you are the dragon form's a little bit newer, and as you had to pick it up with your mouth, you couldn't actually just reach out and grab it. Not quite as nimble with it as he kind of grabs it, and between in between your teeth, it kind of just almost like a toothpick. Someone grabbed and slid out of your teeth. As he takes it back and says, "No, this was a gift."
Are you sure we should be holding back?
I'm pretty sure we would give it back after the competition.
I mean, is anyone still holding back?
I'm
Yes.
gonna just fly away.
Then probably
Basically,
not
just
with the
get it.
god going god
Still
mode on
trying
us.
to stay within 10 feet of Clay Beekman, but 10 feet that way.
I'm just like, like
Yeah, basically. You can spin it.
Zephyr's like, I got
yes,
this.
I am very much holding back.
Malrith is going to set Zephyr down and engage on top of the thing.
I grab onto Malrith. Don't let me go.
Do you want to get in melee range?
No. I don't
You
want
want to
to be
be
on the
over
ground
there
either.
or over there?
Fine, I'll stay there.
Technically, she'd be on the other side, but that works.
I can't.
Yeah.
She's above Gurgle. How's that?
I feel like if I don't go for the
Does she wanna be
archer,
above
he's
girl?
gonna
I can
take
do
out
this again.
Zephyr.
Are you
I got this.
planning on roaring? I probably should have asked that before, but
It's too late. You've already started the turn. She goes on your turn.
Doesn't matter because I have no roars. So
fair enough.
they don't come back on the turn.
Can I talk?
Yes. Wait. Head down.
Can you cast spells?
While paralyzed, if they don't have a somatic component.
Or verbal.
No, because he can actually. His head's still working. It's neck down.
No, you
To be
can't
fair-
talk when you're paralyzed.
He just
Let
said
me check the paralyzed condition.
So actually, this one I will not know. But
All out of curse.
the way that this works, by the way, it's where his handprint hit. Anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just hit the mic twice. Anything from his hand down is paralyzed.
So just explain,
Wait, how much movement
Just
does she
explain the
have?
normal paralyzed condition. You can't move or speak. So
No, you would have to be non-verbal, non-somatic.
How much
Which I
movement?
don't think there's a spell that is non-verbal and non-somatic.
They're literally impossible.
Yeah, I didn't. Yes, and the answer's no.
no.
The answer is then we
That
just
would be a magical item.
There is one.
we just say in the
Way to do
mental
it.
chat.
Touch, right?
Subtle spell.
Well, or yeah, or sort of small, yeah.
Doesn't require.
True.
Or somatic.
It would be
Free text.
great.
Wait.
to cast-
How much movement does she
You
have?
actually can't talk.
80 feet.
I've mental.
Oh,
You
true,
could.
telepathic.
Telepathic, yep.
Yes,
You could move here and then you have flanking.
She doesn't get flanking. It's
Maurith
so
can't.
Oh,
ben-
yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's
so
so
no,
sad.
important. Maurith can benefit from blanking. She
No,
can't
you literally
provide.
said that she couldn't.
No, she can. She can't provide it.
She can't
but if the
provide
creature is
flanking.
flanked, she still gets the advantage of it.
Which we are
That
not.
said, that creature's not flanked.
He's not flanked right now. Razu, you have
when
to
I
get
moved
up.
He would have been flanked.
Yeah, but you have to
We
stay
go
there.
At the same time.
You have to stay there.
I just didn't realize that she could benefit from the
She
flank
can
at all.
benefit. She just can't provide.
In that case,
That's the case with all companions. Also,
Yeah, we still would have missed.
never mind. It's just all companions or summons.
I figured that was always the case because I think that's how I
I
read
thought that's what it
Roshock
was
all
too.
the time.
That is how we ran Broshock for
I've
sure.
asked in the past, and he said that they could not benefit
I
at
must
all.
have misunderstood. They can't provide. They can benefit.
38 combination of slashing and fire, but he can't be resistant to the fire.
Tiku's throat is sore. She can't grr anymore.
Dude, I girt a
If
rod
I
already.
need to
I don't
separate
have
that,
any
it
more
was like a
girt.
minimal amount of fire.
Yeah.
We've been in a lot of fights, okay?
Her throat's a little raw.
Right.
She needs some lemon juice.
All right, so you
Wait,
guys
wait.
are for sure.
That's done.
Yes.
You guys are for sure that we're not going all out on this, right?
You do what you think is good here. I'm out.
Please do. This is boring.
I cannot
As
move.
again, you very much so. This isn't even like a guess. This guy does seem to be able to hear.
But
your
I'm
thoughts.
saying yeah, okay, that's fine. But still, like, I'm out, Gurgle.
again,
you do you.
So not only can he hear thought, he's also speaking telepathically to
Is
you
he
guys.
actively reading our minds?
Yes. Well, he has
Well,
one of our minds, probably.
He can actively hear thoughts in a 30-foot radius around him.
Yes. All of us, yes.
It would
I
be
mean, I
great.
wasn't saying it in my head.
No, I was just saying this. It's clear
was
to you guys at this
informing.
point that this guy he knows what you're thinking.
It would be great to lose that lesser restoration spell I learned recently,
Is it our turn?
but I cannot move.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
very much so.
Your turn.
I'm going to intimidate.
Well, you heal. Didn't you?
Oh wait,
heal?
no, sorry. This
Didn't
is
you
the
heal?
round that you used Cure
I
Wounds.
think he did.
Okay.
Legendary
Apologies.
action.
Yes,
me.
you guys just haven't finished. I still need Gurgle.
He used one legendary action for
Does anybody else need to go
big boy.
still? Or is it just
DC
me?
20 paralyzed 244 psychic damage.
It was 272, wasn't it?
It was 240-ish. 246 if I'm
no,
not
you're
mistaken.
right. I had it written down, but I
He
erased
did
it,
not
so there's
roll
a
to
number
hit
there.
either. This is not one of those
It's
things.
it's a saving throw. That's always how saving throws work.
But he
Can
touched
I,
me.
Am I the only one?
I need
Am I the
Gurgle and Tiku.
Okay. I think she already attack?
That was last round. This is taking a bit. We're talking a lot, is what it is.
I know.
I went real fast.
Does my he did.
My turn was done before your
Does
turn
my
was done.
does my
right.
does my charge up take an action or does it take my full turn? We never.
If you want to activate your power,
yeah.
bonus action. So, apologies. It's an action.
No,
so
you
no,
definitely
no, no.
because
No,
you
no,
said
so
it's a check.
It's
I
an
have to make a
action to
check.
start it, and then it's a bonus action to scale it. So you start it almost like you're starting an engine, but then maintaining it is easier to get it to the next levels. And it's got 3 separate levels. First, second, and third. First one's an action, bonus action, and then it's just going. I have this stat block. I will send it to you.
You still didn't. You didn't tell me exactly what it
You
does.
just you got to remind me. There's a
Do
lot
I
of
get to
moving
make
pieces.
saves?
You're just up.
Yeah. Do I get to make Constitution?
Oh, for the paralyzing thing? Yeah. Yes. End your turn. And this is technically a round. If you want to just make yours, I still need to know what Tiku and Gurgle are doing.
Ooh, move around.
What's the save?
Save is an 18.
Right. I'm unparalyzed.
Okay.
I'm gonna move around. Do you want to move, Razu?
You cannot provide flanking while you are prone. You do have to stand up. You have to be engaged in combat.
Is my turn
can
over? I
technically
can't
still
split
attack
it.
while-
Actually, that's true. You can.
It's
Never
just
mind.
at disadvantage.
I
Apologies.
also can't split my turn.
But I'm saying that you and Tiku, like this, do provide flanking with Gurgle.
Yeah.
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 Apologies, no, you don't. Gurgle's
Okay.
not adjacent to the target. They do have to be adjacent. Gurgle's 10 feet
No,
away
because
because
he did change to a large, so now he is.
He would have grown.
He would have
into
grown
adjacent.
5 feet. So you'd be 5 feet away. Never mind.
I am
What
now
is math?
adjacent. I
How
am
do
now
I-
Now
adjacent.
adjacent.
So yes.
Okay, I want to use maneuvering.
Okay.
I guess I hate. Unless his AC went up by a lot. 27.
27.
Seven.
Did he? Oh, sorry. I thought you said
hit.
20 saving throw. Like he needed to roll. It's like for what? You were attacking.
A lot.
Lot and lot.
You're gonna hit.
And so I did maneuvering attack, and I'm going to tell Razu, stand up, Razu.
I technically did.
And let him move half his movement to stand up, if he
I
wants
just-
to.
I didn't know if his AC
I
was-
will.
Or you can crawl away.
I will stand up.
You know, I feel like I hold the ground here.
As you
I don't
stand
really
up,
feel like it matters.
as you stand up, he goes, "Maybe you're better than I thought, or maybe as a whole."
Or maybe.
You're just idiot. As the goblin snarls at him.
You know, if he does that again, though, to you, you die.
You know, me failing that was quite rare, actually. One would say like 1 in 400 odds.
He smiles and he says, "I'd probably say something like that too. Don't worry. Everyone meets someone stronger eventually."
All right, friends. I'll try and bail us out.
47 plus. 47 plus.
Zephyr, try not to get killed by the archer.
I'm just holding blast. That's my goal. I'm
Wait,
doing God's work right now.
As you say, the archer, Razu turns around.
You know, I roll a lot of advantage and I still get no crits. I mean, I hit, but I don't get crits. All the crits Razu gets. It's fine.
Razu is kind of just like stealing the crits of the whole group.
He kind of is.
No, Clay got one.
I don't rely on crits at all.
Let's do 10 on a D.
Well, plus 3 damage.
You've been crazy.
It
Crit
is.
this guy, you know, cutting off forearms at this point. Easy, yeah.
60 damage total.
Very nice. Ooh, he's bloodied.
so can someone
And-
make that archer not shoot me?
I told you I'd have to go over there, but apparently I'm not doing that, so.
Yeah, I feel like you need to wrestle with this man.
Razu, you get 13, 8, 10 HP.
Holy shit, we might survive the arrow shot, which is what matters. Trust.
All right.
That's
well,
it. That's all she got. That's all she wrote.
okay. I'm just gonna close my eyes for a second.
Oh no, I do have demonic cries.
Take a deep
I'm
breath.
crazy. I looked at the wrong one.
No, she does.
Save it for
Wrong.
next round.
Wrong thing.
Gurgle's going. What are you doing, girl?
Release the flames.
I know. It's hard to keep track.
Change it to survival, right? Or nature?
Yeah, but I can't fail the first two because of reliable talent.
True. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so you guys see Gurgle. He almost whip still lashed around the bugbear. Seems to almost just like focus for a moment, and then a familiar almost beat just seems to start as he seems to breathe what is smoke at first, but very clearly almost looks like steam that Gurgle has just started to breathe.
And then
Also, the liquid on his skin would almost, as it starts to drip, it boil like plasma, hits the stone, and just kind of almost starts to evaporate it. As it would be, that would be going into his turn. He looks at you and says, "Yes. So, you were right. You did hear it."
No, mine forsook me.
That was your
but
action.
you still went for me.
Again, so he's going to use his legendary action this turn. I know this is technically a little bit out of order because you still have a little bit on your turn. Actually, no, you can finish. So, apologies.
So
What was your action?
I'm actually just because it's more fun. I'm gonna have the whip release off of him for a second, and then I'm just gonna whip it on the ground, and I'm just gonna do the second tier as well, since you said the second tier is bonus action.
Okay. As at this point,
Now the air starts to heat up.
Have the Balrog.
as Gurgle takes his
I kind of am.
as Gurgle takes his whip and just you watch as that not only can you feel almost like this wave of heat. For one, all of you realize this is different from the last time you guys saw Gurgle do this. That beat, that almost like that heartbeat, that drum beat. Before, it almost was even a little bit, for the little bit that you guys had it, we're like, oh, this is something good. And you almost like instinctively, upon hearing it, start to like move slightly towards Gurgle as your hair starts to singe. The heat coming off of Gurgle is aggressive. And as you look at the stone beneath Gurgle, the plasma is dripping from his skin. As it hits, it boils, but you also see the stone just starts to, it almost just starts to melt under Gurgle. This is different. This is
I
not
think
what
he
you guys
just
thought.
got the flabies.
He's got flamies.
Everybody can tell that if you're within 10 feet of me, I think you'll start taking damage. Or 5 feet of me, I think. Did we say 5
And
feet?
then
or 10 feet?
it's 10 feet. 5 feet is half damage. 10 feet is full damage. And then once you get to the third stage, you
You
can
meant
avoid
opposite
allies.
of what I just said.
Probably. But yes, currently,
feet
if
is
you
half
are
damage, 5
if
feet
you
is
are
full
within
damage.
10, if you're within 5 feet of Gurgle, you just take 10 fire damage. 10 feet away, you take half of that at 5, and that is just what he starts on his turn with. Doubles once you get to the third phase. With that,
That's it, though.
he's going to use his legendary action right before his turn. As you say that, he sees Gurgle, and he says, "Lord with you." As he's going to attempt to backhand you off the rock.
Is that a crit?
It's an actual
You can't crit me though, man.
Just one punch man, one punch.
It's probably still gonna
We
do
don't get
damage.
crit damage, that's true.
You do get a strength saving throw, right, to not get knocked back.
As long as he's conscious. Rage's condition is over because you did not re-rage and you fell unconscious, which does end the condition. So this would be full damage at...
That's actually not true. Rage does
100% true.
rage does not end upon getting knocked out.
I think it does.
100% does.
It used to. It's not positive.
not
It
think it does.
still does.
If
don't
it
think
still
it does.
does, that's dumb. And we
I
should
think
house
it's
rule
just
that
a
it
turn.
does.
I think it's if you've taken damage in the last
No,
turn.
it's straight up in the...
If you
this
have
is
the
2024 rolls.
incapacitated condition.
Yeah. A Barbarian's
Okay.
Rage ends early if they're knocked
mind.
unconscious. It's in
I
the
lied.
class.
I'm crazy.
Okay. So, you are not... So it's 32. Do you have 32?
No.
So as Gurgle...
Bounce the rage, I live those.
As Razu's like Mine left me, and you still have me, and he's just like, bored.
Does he fall off?
And yes, that's actually what his intent was, to hit him off.
Razu climbs back
that
up.
is-
I didn't hear
You
no
get to make a
bell.
save
That's
throw?
a one
That
hit.
is a failed death save as you hit the ground, and you would take the fall damage as he just is no longer focused on you, has now turned his attention.
I thought you said we lived those.
No, he said if he was raged, we would live those. As he looks towards you, Gurgle, he says, "This is what I was looking for." Again, the
Depends.
goblin
Was it
like,
poison
"No,
damage?
this is not what we were looking for. Just gonna get things and him." With that, it goes into his turn.
Are you still huge?
Yes, he is.
You need to not move closer then. His base is actually accurate. The white clear one is his body.
He
size.
doesn't need to move closer. He
No,
just
I
turns around.
turned him. I didn't move him.
He just
closer.
turns around.
Oh, you did move him.
I mean, he's a
closer.
little bit on it, but like the intent was just turning.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if he's away from me or not. That's all I was asking.
No, he's not. For you, Gurgle, he says, "Curious though, can you hear the sounds?" As he takes all 6 of his arms and just, and as soon as he claps, there's almost like this slight, and there's like a visible line of sound. It almost looks like this clear mist as he, and almost like the the bass drop in Fire Force. For any of you that are familiar with it, it's like a as sound instantly fades. For a moment, none of you guys can hear anything, and everyone within earshot needs to make another Constitution saving throw. This one's only a DC 16.
Do I need to make a Constitution saving throw?
No, you failed.
What do you mean, bro? My body. It's the sounds. I can just resist them with my enhanced body.
But house roll, you can only take one per
round.
Per
You
round.
can't take another one.
So you can't. You
So
won't
the
take
DC
anything.
16?
Yes.
16.
Both pass.
But my question is you automatically fail Dex.
Oh no, he has 2. I was like,
But
wait
isn't
a second.
con just your body's natural resistance?
We're making a save.
You fail all saving throws while unconscious. That's
was
also
just
in the
Dex.
rules.
Does
Actually,
affect saving throws, right?
I don't know if that's true.
What
for
saving
con
throw are we
saves
making right now?
specifically.
I kind of feel like
Next
con is like
five
your body's
there.
natural
I was
resistance to
talking to
things.
John. You
You have
got
plus
+5.
Well, he passed it anyway.
What was the range of this thing?
I don't
Yes.
Earshot.
know. Everybody.
I got a 10.
That's a failure.
Yeah, I rolled the 2 on the die. Plus 8, 10.
Oh no! You hero carries for you.
I do have one. I'm going to
You actually get to make a
Yes.
religion check before.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well.
So do you.
I
You
mean-
3 are the 3 that can attempt
well,
to do this.
That was
You're
my
already
save,
informed.
So we're going to do the religion check.
Wait, I
which
make
three?
a
What? Huh?
religion check?
No,
Well,
you're already
you need
informed,
to
so you don't need it. Both of you have the opportunity to avoid
That's
this.
my religion check. Okay. So 14.
On the religion or on
Yeah,
the...
that's
Religion.
That's my religion check.
Okay, that actually is enough to save, so that gives you advantage
Oh.
on these.
Oh,
on
so
the,
roll again.
Oh, so I just get advantage now. Okay, cool.
I'm proficient in religion.
What was the
Do I-
religion?
Oh, okay.
I
Luckily,
already, I already
good.
have advantage on
What was
con
the-
All right.
I mean, I already passed the
Hey,
con.
I'm proficient in religion. Do I get a chance to get advantage on this?
They each have connected to the Fire Primordial, the Packer, and to Talos?
How am I
Right, roll
connected to
Talos?
the
You gotta
Packer?
get you
Have I
connected in
connected
with
to the
your-
Packer
with your-
fully?
You
I
have
mean, he
started.
literally put his mark on you.
24.
24 is a success.
Yeah, but
Gurgle. Again, yours is actually in nature, not religion.
And
Even the
everyone
name
has
will be what
bless.
this is.
Bless.
oh, this
I
is
mean,
a
I
saving
passed the
throw,
con
so
save
you get
anyway.
Was
blessed.
that a D6?
This is a
D4.
D4.
Also, I have advantage on
Bless.
con saves anyway, so that doesn't matter.
Is what it is. So success, success, success,
So
failure, success,
Success.
Close.
and then failure.
Roll a 1 on the.
Wait, did
And
you
this
roll
is where
a
we lose
D4?
bless, boys.
Will it make a difference?
Is
This is where we lose
unconscious.
bless.
Does it matter?
Oh, well,
You're
yeah.
about to take a lot of damage.
I mean, also, depends. Did we look into the Constitution?
I mean, probably still gonna take
From
a
what
lot
I'm
of damage.
seeing,
I'm pretty sure we're just gonna be
you don't auto-fail con saves on unconscious, but there's no specific rule that I can find.
Does it just do damage? Because if it just does damage, it doesn't matter.
No, it does. It does other things too. I will let you roll it because I kind of agree that Constitution I do kind of interpret as.
It's just your natural
Like
body.
dexterity, obviously.
What I will say is I will increase the DC though.
I would say intelligence,
be-
no, because you couldn't like
Wisdom,
mentally
yeah.
not. But charisma maybe, because don't be handsome when you're in the back.
So I will let you roll it, but I would add 5 to it, which would bring it to a 19.
Brother Rogers is about to
You're
die.
harm. unconscious condition, you automatically fail the stress deck save.
This motherfucker got rid of his healing beat.
You stop. No. Okay. So you technically would fail a death save, but you've already failed one for this round from the fall. That would bring us to it's 82 points of thunder damage. Technically, is
How much?
82. That is so you are the only person who failed. It's half for everybody else. You do still take the damage. For you, Clay Beekman, you take the full 82.
41.
And you have a moment where you can't hear the sound. And then for the rest of you, as it kind of comes back, and you almost have an immediate headache, kind of confused. You kind of look up, and then for you, Clay, as that sound comes back, it's like a.
So I gotta get a 20.
And you just hear something pop in your ears, and blood just immediately starts out of both of your ears. You are deafened, but you are deafened in the way that your eardrums have been shattered.
Meep.
So 41 was the damage took, right?
41 is half. Yes. That's thunder damage.
Yep.
Just,
No more bless.
wait. Have we decided that Trinity is immune to lightning yet?
No, this is thunder anyway.
It's thunder anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yes, Clay Beekman's eardrums have been shattered. With that being the case,
We can. I just like him. We can still talk.
No, he can't hear.
looking at you, you, Gurgle,
I just shake my head a
Clay
little bit.
Beekman, that's what he's saying.
Why isn't it working?
I still need both of you to make your roll though. This is actually important.
The religion check?
No, Tiku and Gurgle, yours is nature.
About me?
Mine is
Bane
nature.
exists in this timeline.
I don't know. Let's
Survivor. Mine would be survival.
Yours is survival, yours is nature, yours is religion.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember what I actually rolled.
12 is not high
I
enough.
have a thought.
What did I roll?
Wait.
I think I got a 14, so I thought I rolled a 13. Oh, I rolled a 13.
Sorry.
again.
Question for you.
25.
Mine's 15.
When I get mine, it might be blue, maybe.
Quite possibly.
I apologize. Mine's 15.
25.
That is a success. I know you succeeded as well, and you got a 25 on your file. Okay. For each of you, so when it comes back, that shattering that happens for Clay, for the rest of you, you instead hear a spare.
Spare?
And as he kind of stops, he kind of like looks up. He's looking at you, Gurgo. He says, "What did it say?"
Why is it important what it said?
He just holds his hands out forward. Doesn't matter unless you know.
I mean, when you think about it, and then he knows.
But it's not spare.
And he just smiles. The goblin on his right goes, No, I told you we should have been quicker. He's, pity. He just holds up his hand and goes, I surrender. They are victorious.
What?
As he brings his hands down, the arms kind of and almost like shrink back into each other. And the goblin on the right goes, and almost like it's being pulled in as its head kind of and grows back in. The fur on it kind of goes down as the bugbear goes back.
What
to his bugbear
happened?
form.
What?
Is kind of like shakes his head a little bit and goes, I haven't had to do that in a while.
Okay.
That was very fun.
Tiku's gonna hop off and grab the refillable potion that's in Roz's pouch and shove it in his mouth.
You find out it's empty.
Oh.
It's empty.
Oh, yeah,
it's
you
still.
gave it back to me, though.
I gave it back to
that's
you.
Right.
Oh.
Is it over? What?
Do you have any other potions on you?
Do you have potions on you?
With that, as he forfeits the match, you would also hear the crowd just mixture of like what and just boo as people just start not only yelling, but they actually start throwing like just bits of food. There's even some rocks that come in. Some of them even hitting, especially you, Tiku, and you, Clay. Rocks and food kind of hitting you guys.
That save.
What the hell?
I'd move down and I'd
What
body
happened?
block Razu as I will cast my own cure wounds on him.
We can
I
still
would
talk
actually
in
say
our
Roz is
heads,
pretty
silly
safe
head.
because they are concentrated.
I still have to block.
I had the LOS problem.
Oh, right.
I'm like, I can't.
What happened? I can't hear anything.
Your ears are bleeding.
Well, I know my ears are bleeding, but what happened?
I go over to Clay. Lesser restoration.
Sorry.
I'm just
Final-
trying to
my
stabilize
final spell
Robin.
slot.
That would work.
Hey.
As you can almost
Okay.
similar to the regeneration spell, you almost like feel the inside of your ear. It almost feels like it's like stitching or growing itself back as it was done quick enough.
I feel like what I do, I just come and like kind of like slap on the side of the head. Real
Oh.
It's the opposite
It's
effect of what it normally happens.
It's like but it's a thunderclap type thing.
For you, Gurgle, as he drops the form, he actually takes a step forward into your fire, and as the heat kind of hits, you watch as his fur just starts to burn, and it immediately burns down to his flesh, which again has that same almost like rocky texture to it that the wargs had, rather than the hide that again you'd normally see with like a bugbear. As he walks into the heat, kind of, they will do well. I hope we can fight again one day.
As Razu gets up.
Oh god.
Never back down, never what?
He's in the present.
Insight check.
We're gonna see him.
Can I
He's one of the
insight-
gods.
Can I insight check this?
Go for it. As
I
for
want to
you-
know, or can I actually see if I recognize his soul wavelength?
He's the
I don't know
Solanus.
what the
So if you're doing that, it's a survival. If you're doing an insight, it's an insight. What are we doing?
soul.
What are you trying
I
to
wanna-
find out?
So survival, and then give me a second for you, Gurgle, as he steps forward to you. He again, almost like he's basking in the heat before you actually let it go. Hold for a second. He's, if I
Inspiration.
ever have the pleasure,
Inspiration.
I would love
No.
a
I have to
rematch
use mine.
with all, but in particular one so far along. My name is Grimgor. May I know yours?
My name is Gurgle.
He reaches out and he places his hand on your shoulder. That plasma immediately, you can hear it and smell it burning into the fur and the flesh. Even the stone-like nature to his skin does seem to burn under the plasma on your skin. As he just placing his hand, he says, "May we meet again in the high halls."
It said what?
And at this point, he would just turn. You see his like a larger
Trying
piece
to
of
add
meat
weight.
that almost looks a little bit rotten, hits him in the side of the face and starts to slide down. And he catches it as it kind of like falls almost to the ground. Catches it, looks at it, goes, such a waste. As he just bites into this semi-rotted piece of meat. As he takes a step forward, it almost like he's going downstairs. He just starts to step into the
I
stone.
guarantee you that man is full of parasites.
With that, we are going to go to break, as we have now finished the encounter in what is a fully shenanigans first half to our session.
They're all shenanigans.
Wasn't he bloodied?
Hold that thought till after the break. Okay, so we will be back here in a few minutes, figure out what was going on there, and see you in a second. And we're back. First of which, Clay got inspired.
Oh, everyone's upside down.
Courtesy of Jasmine. Apparently, we are. Oh wait, no, I am right side up.
Yeah, that's 'cause Nate-
Oh my goodness, it's all doing great. Nate knocked around the cameras. Is the answer to your question. But yes, Clay was inspired. The other one is actually straight. It's correct. You're fine. And then.
Yeah, it's good.
Jumping back into it again. The bugbear has just stepped down into the stone after introducing himself and almost requesting or looking forward to a future meeting with Gurgle. Kane, as you're looking around, specifically looking for the goblins, as you had mentioned, in tandem with the bugbear stepping down into the stone. I need to change the music. In tandem with the bugbear stepping down into the stone, you also see the goblins seem to almost sink with him. At that moment, though, the victory is called as you hear almost like a confused, well, with that, I suppose that team... Oh, I'm sorry, they changed it. She again pulls out a ledger, flips through it. She's like...
Cubix Ascenders.
Yes, Cubix, I believe, is what it was. They are victorious, I guess.
2 to 4.
We'll see you in the next conquest. That was most disappointing. As she takes her ledger and starts to walk with this mysterious character for Razu, as he wants to know what race this Githlinki-like individual walking behind her is. As they just leave, and the crowd just completely deflates. They very much so seem disappointed with the bugbear disappearing. There's food and rock that have been scattered amongst the ground, and they just start to walk away, apart from a few that stay. In particular, there's a good amount of Dragonborn that stay.
Zach's
Where?
just sitting on his butt right now. Just
He's
like,
the fucking better guy.
The Dragonborn stay for like only a few minutes as you guys you go down to help Razu.
I noticed that.
At this point, you guys would all notice.
Okay.
But they only stay for about a minute. They kind of inspect, kind of look about the field before almost like acknowledging it.
Can I attempt to insight why they stayed?
Would that be insight?
I don't know.
I would say you
could be.
No, it would be insight. It wouldn't be why they stayed. It's what are they looking at?
I guess that.
Which I guess would kind of be the same thing. Go ahead and make your insight check.
Can I guidance this? As they are doing it over a long period of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
More than 6 seconds.
22.
22. You at this point would also notice that most of their attention seems on you, and it's like kind of they're looking at you, then they look about the battlefield almost very much so in a both concerned and curious way. Doesn't seem to play out the way that they thought it would. Within a minute, they leave as well, and in a much faster fashion than you guys have seen for any battles throughout, really both in any kind of tournament style setting, as well as even just battles. Usually in the aftermath, people will stick around. They'll ask if you're okay if it's an actual battle, or in a tournament, they'll maybe like call out. The crowd just seems to dissipate back to festival. You can still see people even down from in the field walking by, but the attention on you seems to fade as fast as the group gathered for the first conquest. And a familiar individual, longer dreadlocks down to his shoulders, just starts to walk down the steps and just slowly clapping. He says, well, you did better than I thought I would. Well, better than I thought you would. For me, but yes, I do appreciate it. Go ahead, Tiku.
I was just curious. The people that were there, 2 things, I guess. But one, did they look like they were ready for a fight? Or they were there allied with this?
The Dragonborns?
What was the insight check you got before?
For the soul thing? That's not insight.
Survival.
Oh, apologies. No, you're right. That was just... I do need to know what that is, because I entirely forgot about that.
I actually don't remember.
Go ahead and re-roll
It was
it.
a survival. Your survival.
It is a survival check, yes.
It was 24.
I think that was for the clap.
Oh, that. Oh, okay. I thought it was the same thing. Sorry, I wasn't sure what you're talking about.
Oh, I rolled really well last time.
So we're just going to have you go ahead and re-roll. This
This
was to see if she recognized the soul almost.
31. That's a 19 on the die.
You do recognize it, but only faintly, as you only briefly experience this underwater in a vision. You didn't quite focus on all the god silhouettes that were standing as Talos took his position, but someone in the crowd of gods, you can't place a face to him.
But I did sense a divine soul,
But
basically.
yes, the soul in him is the same soul that you sensed standing in that line.
Just in case it's pertinent, I'm pretty sure she also, during a primordial vision, saw all the gods. So could she match it there?
Don't know who you're looking for. The answer
Also, Tiku does not know the
is
gods
no.
very well.
She is, despite having seen them, in addition
She
to that,
knows the
this is,
feeling of a soul, but not.
she also gained this ability afterwards.
Yeah.
So she's barely even be able to. This is to the point that you recognize it and you're able to pinpoint. I felt this before. It was a different feeling. Before it was almost like this overbearing sense of being in the presence of something
now.
truly
Yeah.
very similar to being in the presence of a dragon when you were growing. That same feeling, and you sense it, but it's a weaker, much weaker, in fact. With that being the case, now you want to do insight. The dragonborn that stayed to see
I
what
would
they were
just say
doing.
do passive for me. But
What is your passive?
17.
17. They were definitely ready for a fight.
And they seem to be allies of the human or the creature that was with us.
Bugbear.
They seemed disappointed with the fight, which he figured out, and they were ready for a fight, but they've left. That is all you were able to gather.
But were they like when they were they all looking at the guy that surrendered? Was that what
They
was happening?
seemed to be just intently watching the fight.
So it's hard to tell where they were looking.
Yes.
Okay.
Hard to know exactly what they were doing. You just know they were ready for a fight.
But they were all
They're
geared up.
very
and
focused
stuff.
on Kane, and they seemed disappointed with the outcome and left.
Were they like openly in armor and stuff, or was they like?
There are
cloaked?
many people throughout this festival that look
Many,
equipped for combat.
Okay.
Many of these Dragonborn included, some of which not, which still shared the same sentiment. By the way, when I say many, we're talking about 14. Is about how many you guys would see between all of you. Are they all geared for combat? No. Are some of them very much so look like they were ready to jump in and fight? Yes.
Okay.
With that, back to present as presumably Orlaveil, actually confirmed now as you were called his warriors or his champions. Again, clapping. He says, "Well, now that you've won,
I hope our showing was adequate.
oh, it was perfect. Even, I'm not gonna lie, all my chips are never in one basket, but I might put a few more in yours." First of which, apologies. Let me help. He's going to cast Mass Cure Wounds. It's up to 300 HP, which he's going to divide evenly among you. So that'd be 50 HP for each of you.
I only need 3 for what it's worth, so he can give that to other people if need be.
Sure.
I only needed 41.
So just add it by, so each of you guys can,
So we got 44.
I'm pretty sure we all would heal the full.
for the sake of this, you're very much so healed. Technically,
Well,
it wouldn't be
he
full.
needs.
I need 133.
Yeah, he needs a lot.
Okay, so you get 3.
So we have 456
So
extra.
297. How much do you need?
How,
We
how
have
much health
56
do I need?
extra.
41. 297 minus 41. 256.
I
You?
need 82.
How much do you need?
So,
there's an easier way to do this. How much did you not need?
47.
They all need a
47,
lot. So
41.
9.
So 9 plus 47 is
56.
56. How many did you need?
I only need 41.
So 9 more. It's 65.
65, yeah.
So yeah,
65
they get
divided.
65
You
extra.
each
So-
get 21 extra.
So you get 71 total.
And someone can get 2.
73, babe.
okay.
There you go. 73, 71, 71. The 3 of you are full. Again, as
Okay,
he
I'm not bloodied anymore.
as he heals you up a little bit. And again, just
How much did I get?
you 71.
71.
As he heals you for 71 HP, just kind of, well, for what it's worth. Again, not only am I impressed, I am most thankful. Tell me, where are you staying? I would be more than happy to upgrade your...
The inn known as Inkst.
We paid for the week.
I mean, if you care about the money, you're welcome to stay, but winners dine in style, I believe.
Luxury.
Luxury is more to my taste. Sorry, the common folk speech is uncommon for me. That said, he gestures towards Lone Peak, and you see one of those dragons that is actually looking almost like a sentry over the field, just kind of almost shuffles to the side a little bit, now opening a way into Lone Peak. And he says, if you'd like, you're welcome to stay in my lodgings. There's a manor inside. You can enter it from many different places. That said, in this case, simply follow the tunnel. It'll take you right there.
I will gratefully accept.
Insight check.
Go for it.
This guy seems a little too helpful.
Go ahead, Tiku.
Who is this guy?
This is Orlaveil. So,
Oh, I missed the Orlaveil name.
so again, he looks
I was
like
I know this isn't our guide, but I have no idea what he said. He said this guy.
He looks.
He wants.
Again, he's more of like a tan human, almost like almost brown skin. He has dreadlocks. In this case, it would be black dreadlocks. That is what he had before as well. Black dreadlocks that kind of come down to his shoulders.
I know.
Wearing
nothing.
almost like his garb is a little bit different. Now he seems almost a little bit more in kingly attire. He almost looks to be wearing a dress. It is a robe, but it almost gives you a little bit more of an impression of a dress.
Robe.
Kind of fans out a little bit at the bottom, a little bit too much that you'd normally see on a male. Also appears to be adorned with even more jewelry. He has 4 separate necklaces that kind of line. There's pearl, diamond, ruby, and emerald. As he has 3 very gaudy, definitely too much for the necklaces. For what it's worth, this is much more flamboyant than Orlaveil typically appeared.
You know, this is a fine, upstanding dragon. There's no way he would want anything beyond, just to help us.
The one thing I will say, per your previous interaction, you would still have a little bit of suspicion. You just aren't able to pinpoint.
I tried so hard to keep that from happening.
Jeebus, dude. You just are like, he's shifty, but like I don't see why he would be helping us. You can't find a hole. I would say is like, while he does seem shifty, he seems very keen on you guys winning these trials of conquest.
He has a motive, but he seems pretty up and up about it. So,
with that, he says, if you'd like to stay, there is not only, of course, much better lodging. You can ask for any food you can think of. In fact, in addition to that, I don't simply want you to participate in these conquests for you alone. For each victory, I intend to bestow upon you with a reward. Please, amongst all of you, think of something you wish. I would be more than happy to grace you with it.
I just want a good forge and maybe some materials.
I'll have it brought to the manor.
Do we request after every game, or do we save up our wins for a bigger prize?
I would allow for either.
Marvelous.
Think about it amongst yourselves. You're welcome to join the festivities as he gestures back up to the individuals kind of going and coming.
go collect my winnings.
especially before someone decides to jump us in the middle of an alley.
Soak.
Let's go with Orlaveil.
Well,
be fine.
For what it's worth, as you start to walk, he's like, I did already collect those for you. I can't have my winners playing fetch.
Marvelous. My whole 7.5 platinum.
He hands you a bag of 50 platinum back.
Holy shit.
As he hands it back to you, he says, of course, with some extra from your benefactor. Just in case you hasn't been apparent to you by this point. At this point, I would be considered your, I believe when I saw it in...
Aren't we like fighting for your glory or something?
Yes, I was going to say I was like your sponsor. I saw it in one of your heads earlier, much like the hunting parties. I believe at one point you were thinking about being sponsored by a crown of some sort, some dwarves.
Yes.
But think of it like that. That is how I'll break this down. I am your benefactor, your sponsor here, and I will not have my champions for anything. Now, I do have other business to attend to. No, His Magnificence always does like to laugh. But I will meet you again at the next conquest. Please feel free to stay at the manor. A forge will be made readily available to you there. In fact, we have It's not exactly a forge, but it will be repurposed for you. Be ready, perhaps give in an hour, maybe 2, to collect the proper lodgings, and then you will be more than welcome to use that as much as you wish. And then, as I believe you are...
Time do we have between conquests?
This is where I was going next, actually. As I believe you have not been informed of this, which I apologize. Again, likely most of that fault lies with me. I thought you might be a little bit more familiar with the environment, but the more I know you, the more I understand. The next conquest is tomorrow evening. Each of the conquests is held in the evening except for the 7th. The 7th conquest will be handled first thing in the morning, for the festival takes place in the evening. So, apart from that, it is about the same time each, and as you complete your conquests, you shall be climbing the peak, one might say. The next will be, as he gestures back towards Lone Peak, the next will be within Lone Peak. In fact, all of the remaining will be within Lone Peak. From my manor, I will send someone to collect you when it is time. If you could just plan on being at the manor perhaps an hour before first sunset.
Question here. Okay, this sounds really great. Will you be able to send up some like masseuses up to my room?
Oh, they're already.
I'm really sore.
They're already available at your beck and call. I have many that work with me, as any of the. I think it's been dubbed the Brass Circle by those in the festival, likely the easiest for you. Many of those amongst the Brass Circle, we have many supporters. That is to say, simply mention my name if anyone gives you any gruff. And yes, my servants will be more than happy to attend to you.
Oh, well, most excellent. Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, any other questions? I do have things to do, but I do not want to leave my champions confused or in the dark.
I just have...
Sorry. Okay. Question. It's going to be a far stretch. Do you know a fire giant by the name of Rudars, by chance?
I'm gonna inside check this one.
Go for it. Can't say that I do.
How common is rune weaving?
17, my normal.
He's lying.
Is there a way we can get some upgraded?
Cost? Is there? What's the emotion behind it? Like.
Hold that thought for a moment. Also, with your roll, I would say that you only know that he's lying. You don't know why he's lying.
I have a 17 passive insight.
She also has a 17.
I have a 20 passive insight.
So
yeah, but you wouldn't suspect him.
I would give you like a -10 to inciting Orlaveil.
I mean, because you like because he devout to him.
Yeah, you're so devout to him. Like, yeah, totally.
Like even a knight is devout to their king, but he'd still be able to tell when the king is lying. He won't question why the king is lying, but he'd still notice.
I'll give you a -5.
Maybe.
Kind of valid, but at the same point, it's not that you wouldn't. So the difference is they're looking for the lies in what he says. Mm-hmm. You're looking for the truth.
True.
And just the focus on what you're looking for would alter what you'd be able to perceive.
But I'm also very good at detecting lies.
True, which is why you're still at a 15.
What I'm saying is you know that he lied. You don't really care because you think he's got a good reason.
That's literally what I was saying.
We still have our
I would still notice the lie. I
just don't dig into it any further. Yeah.
So yeah, this is actually the way that I would interpret it. So I'll change it a little bit. I would say that you noticed the lie, but the way that I would say, based on how your interaction with him, you would think he's lying for my benefit.
Yeah.
It's not why is he lying. It's okay. He's not telling me everything, but there's a reason he's not telling me everything, and that's enough for me.
I was gonna play it like that.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. I will. We go back. Collaboration. I agree. With that said, the two of you both know that he's lying with that. Your question about rune weaving is. Oh yes, I saw this as well.
I'll tell you telepathically.
It's not, but it is. Rune weaving, as I believe you understand it, from what I saw.
I don't know why you want to know that.
Entirely uncommon.
You mean like what's on the bugbear's arm?
Yes and no.
Or that is the more common portion.
That is common.
I mean, he made it seem with the runes on his arm At least since they've been there, he hasn't felt pain.
Of course.
Or taken damage.
Mortal can't feel pain, I believe, for what I know of that one.
I mean, he regenerated.
They're entirely separate. You didn't see the runes on his back, did you? Perhaps the ones on his legs.
Was he regenerating even after he felt pain?
I universally erased it. I was not being delicate.
Impressive. The answer is they do many different things, and the ability to get that, not entirely too uncommon. That said, rune weaving in the way that you understand, foreign. I can't give you much more than that, as I don't know much more.
Is there just a rune weaving shop where they just tattoo you with fucking soup of us?
There is not a rune weaving shop. There are individuals familiar with the magic. But tell me, as a warrior, if you go into a magician's shop, do you ask him to tell you why or how does the sword ignite with fire? Or do you simply care that the sword burns?
Where's this rune weaving shop?
Can I request that this forge be a little bit secluded?
My manor has only those with permission can enter. Secluded from myself or my servants might be a little bit more difficult. May I ask why?
Oh, no reason.
I believe it's a wisdom saving throw.
I do believe this is a wisdom saving throw.
Is he suggesting me?
It is a wisdom save. It's suggestion.
It is suggestion. Go ahead.
Not 20.
What's your plus though?
For a
I'm pretty
total
sure
of?
his DC is higher. He's within range of Clay, so that is a 25 minimum.
It's 22.
So
Just for me.
So 27.
If I'm within his range, then 27, yeah.
Imagine that still doesn't pass.
It does. His DC's 24. As you feel yourself, you like start to answer him as you're like, no, risen. And you realize that you were about to answer, and you very much so know. It's supposed to suggest. And he kind of smiles, and he looks towards Clay as well. And he says, champions indeed.
Is there a way we can get some upgraded arms and armor?
Seems one of you is already very capable.
Right, but, before the next fight.
Make a request.
That depends on how good his forge
I will
is.
see if I might be able to provide.
Well, my armor appears to be very lacking.
I could have told you that.
I've been very made aware of that. I've been shot numerous times, stabbed, slashed.
Do you have any ideas for what you want the armor to do?
Not get me stabbed, slashed, bit, shot.
Simple, boring, but simple.
Perhaps maybe a little bit resistant to certain magics.
I'll see what I can do. That would make so I would need to send one of my own to the forge, though, and I believe Gurgle wishes to be the most secluded, so you'd have to figure that out unless he can make it.
I don't think you can make this in a day, bro.
I mean, again, depends on what you want. If you want an enhancement, maybe, but if you want me to craft something from scratch, probably not.
I can provide a base, should you consider yourself capable, but from what I understand, for most, it is an endeavor. To most common folk, the week or sometimes year that it can take seems like a lifetime. For my extra hands, perhaps not as much.
I mean, I don't know what your extra hands do. I don't even know what I can do. That's part of the fun.
So, do you wish to be secluded or would you like help? My blacksmithies are quite capable. Perhaps even could help in your work.
I mean, I'm okay to have another blacksmith around. I just want everything that gets done in there to be confidential.
As long as you're okay with me knowing. It is hard for me to not grasp what goes around amongst my followers.
I mean, he'll probably tattle on me anyway.
Notice how I haven't yet.
So that is to say, my blacksmithy is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want everybody to know.
Marvelous. I will schedule it. Any other questions? Anything else you need?
I would turn to Malrath. Do you want a revolver?
I am proficient in all forms of armor. Just let you
Noted.
aware.
Mauer thinking.
What do you prefer?
Full plate.
Yes, but hard to do here.
I'll take whatever you can give me as long as it's better than this.
I wish to see home. As
Can't
for
she
the
do that herself?
as for the first time, you see almost like a very almost human emotion to Mauer. She goes, I could before we entered these tunnels. Now I can't.
In the future, she was able to still cast it.
Mm-hmm.
When did that change?
As you actually ask her, she seems confused for a moment. She goes, I don't remember. As the human emotion of like almost like that longing for home is now met with confusion, which again, usually she almost doesn't care enough about the ongoings to even be confused.
Orlaveil, are you by chance able to travel to the lands between?
Of course. Can you not? I thought that amongst a group of your stature, that would be a readily
Under
available.
normal circumstances, yes. We're not under normal circumstances.
Oh, wait, you're probably talking about the wall. Yes, travel is very limited currently. Gods don't take too keenly to dragons going where they have no control.
But you still can.
Of course.
Would you mind bringing along a passenger?
I would be happy to, but do know that if I take her there, it might be a bit before she can come back.
I will be fine.
Any other questions before I make my exit?
I suppose just one. I was informed you were a jester, and I was curious at the validity of the statement.
While I hate the title, I do take responsibility to make the king laugh. For now. Roles, stepping stones, and such.
Curiosity sated.
Well, with that, again, feel free to stay in the manor. I will have a blacksmithy accompanying you as well as available to provide you with whatever armaments you wish, at least for temporary bases. Apart from that, I wish you the best night, and I will see you, unfortunately, not tomorrow, likely on the 4th Conquest, assuming you make it. That is when I will be available. Now, best of luck. As he actually walks over to Malrith and almost takes the bottom of her jaw in his hand. And can I look? Oh, this will be most educational for you. And both of them kind of... Much in similar fashion to how when you guys teleport, you almost like pull in. It almost looks like he just teleported. That would have been better than what I did. Can't think of all the cool or funny dialogue. With that, you guys are now left alone.
All right, let's go get a bath and hit the hay because this isn't making till tomorrow.
So, Manor?
Even as down as out as you were still far more useful than I believe any of us.
Does that mean you have no more use for me? As you guys see the small dragonborn at the top of the steps, kind of like looking down, the steps being just large enough that it'd be a little bit of a, like almost like a jumping thing for him to go down and back up. I'm again, Horde, more than happy to come and work with all of you, but...
I mean, Tiku may want you to help her go find some ingredients or something. Unless you're coming with us right now.
Almost in response to that, you did not notice him, but a dragonborn whose hands are in his robe, kind of blocking him in his sight, almost seems to appear next to you. He has a teal color to his scales. He goes, if you're simply looking for ingredients, we can provide. This is... Your guy just kind of squints. unfortunate.
I need all the exotic ingredients you can find.
Yes, please. I'm more than happy to continue. And again, the Dragonborn next to you says, "It is entirely unnecessary. Anything you could ask for, we can provide. Please accompany us back to the manor." As he almost gestures with his elbow to Lone Peak.
And would you perchance consider a discount upon your services, Zarian?
At this point, perhaps ask me tomorrow.
I'm sure you'll know where to find us.
Yes.
I think
and I shall be at this stall. If you do wish to, I will stay here for the rest of today.
I think he wants to make sure we're worth it. That means that he's waiting for us to see if we can pass the second challenge.
The second challenge is tomorrow evening, not tomorrow morning.
He kind of like turns to where he's sideways, but not fully flipped away. He says, "That said, Tiku, if you wish to explore more of the festival, only one sun has set." As he then walks past. Walks out of sight. The Dragonborn now with you.
And yeah, just take me to the place.
I would
So this wants to pass out for the next 12 hours.
I'm very tired. It's a horrible headache.
Can I take that to mean each of you would like to rest?
I would actually like to head to the library.
To the
You have a library.
Can I, like...
We have a library, yes.
Let's fucking go. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Can I, like, can you, with your mental skill, is it all like a group chat? Or can
Telepathy
I, like...
for an hour up to...
Can I,
your
like, DM
choice.
somebody?
You could talk to someone individually, or you could talk to the group. It is, think like you guys have walkie-talkies.
Yep.
And it's a channel that you guys all have available, but you could still tune into a channel and talk to somebody else.
Virgo. Do you see those Dragonborn?
Which ones?
As we're walking toward the manor. We can start heading that way.
So,
The ones
you actually wouldn't be
afterwards.
walking towards the manor. With that, is finish your conversation with Gurgle, as you guys would be walking towards Lone Peak, effectively.
Which Dragonborns are we talking?
The ones after the battle.
The two that... You're talking the guy that's got the robes that's gonna give you stuff?
No, the ones that were watching us after the battle.
Was there ones watching us after the battle? I must have missed that
Gurgle was not paying attention. Did not see them.
Okay, so... Yeah, what about him?
I think there's more going on here. There's some... Cool. We need to figure out what's going on. There's factions and...
You're saying you want me to gather information?
Yeah, you're sneaky, right?
At this point, you guys would make it to like where you would start to climb the peak to get up to where that dragon sentinel is. And the Dragonborn with you says, "We would not have you traverse aimlessly. I'd love to make things more simple." As he takes his hand out, you notice, for one, a arcane rune on his hand. This, again, would be rune weaving. That same style of rune. As he holds his hand out, the rune seems to glow, and it almost looks like mercury seems to and grow off of his hand before kind of almost like making a portal or a doorway from his hand.
Do I know what that rune said? Like what it was translated to?
I would say
gate,
yes.
portal?
This would be gate.
Okay.
In fact, he literally just cast the spell gate, seemingly using the rune on his hand, almost like a spell scroll.
I'll see what I can figure out for you, Tiku.
I
Okay,
know
thank
what
you.
the spell gate does, so I'll just walk through it.
Okay. I assume something says otherwise. You guys all.
Yep.
Okay.
Just so it turns out, I'm going to be stuck in a room with a guy that I can probably ask questions to for the next couple
This
hours.
seems on the up and up. Okay.
As you guys walk through the portal, you being first, and then everyone else quickly in tandem with you. First thing you notice is you guys are in a cave that is impossibly large. Even looking at Lone Peak, the cave that you're in looks out of place. You're talking like 200 feet tall, roughly about 500 feet wide. There's no tunnels, no anything. It almost looks like an empty pocket. apart from the massive manor that you see in front of you. There is it is a 3-story manor that is almost like kind of scaled, how you see like a lot of medieval castles, how it kind of gets smaller towards the top. Other than there's a wing on the right that almost looks like a rook's tower that has multiple levels. That one is actually 5 stories tall. The building itself is almost, I would say almost like southeastern in design. It's very squared to where the different levels, how they actually go up, they appear to be made out of a brown cobblestone. There is, rather than torches that adorn, there appears to be almost dragon gargoyles that are all about the outside of this manor, and the dragon gargoyles have fire burning in their mouths. That is what actually illuminates this entire manor. The actual stonework has different symbols of what appears to be dragons. You see the familiar, the pocket watch with the dragon almost leaning over it with one of its hands for the arms. And then, despite what you've seen, usually when you see a building of the stature of like a noble or a king, anything like that, you typically will see like guardsmen or anything like that, completely unattended. From what you can tell, even looking in through some of the windows, you don't really see any signs of life on the inside. Lastly, there is almost I would say like a courtyard. There's a fountain that is a good 60 feet away, and almost like a pseudo driveway that kind of goes around it in 2 separate, almost oval-like roads. There are trees that seem to be growing out of the stonework. The tree bases themselves dig into the rock rather than looking more of like a typical garden. They look like they're almost like grown out of the rock, and the trunks themselves seem to be made out of that same gray stone that Lone Peak is made out of. Lastly, almost off to the left, there is an area where you can see what appears to be a stable. In the stable is one of the only signs of life that you can actually see is there are horses. That said, these horses are slightly different. You guys have actually encountered these before, as it has
6-legged ones?
4 hind legs and 2 front legs. There's 4 separate horses inside, and there's one individual that seems to be petting one of them currently. Past that, there is another larger, almost looks like a storage shed, but you can see smoke coming out of the chimney. And the stone nature to the edges of it believes you that it's either like almost a very heavy fortified storage shed, or especially for you, Gurgle, you very much so would recognize more so the feeling you would get from a forge. With that,
you dragons sure like to let people know who owns the place.
A little secret for you. This is not as impressive as it is in the present day.
No, I was more talking about all the dragon symbology. It's like if I owned a place and I just plastered my face everywhere.
Why wouldn't you?
The teal dragonborn stepping up behind you guys now as the gate behind him closes says, "They both serve as monuments as well as guardians. Do be slightly careful. I know you are guests, but there are certain rooms that are off limits, even to guests. Perhaps the rules will change as you progress, but as of right now, the 3rd floor would be entirely off limits. There is a study on the 2nd floor near the library. It would again be off limits. No doors are kept locked. Proceed at your own risk. The forge for you, Gurgle, is still with his hands in the sleeves, kind of like gestures with them together, gestures towards that storage or smithy in this case. The forge you'll find near the stables. If you need any ingredients for food, I'm happy to fetch them, but if you are, for any reason, inclined that you wish to explore them yourself, Tiku, kind of points off to the right, and you see, didn't notice it quite at first, but opposite of where the forge and the stables are, there's 2 large metal hatches, almost coming up on a little bit of an angle to the house itself. And he says, "You'll find anything your heart desires in the cellar, both from drink to food to morsels to snacks, whatever you may want."
Zephyr, I need to borrow the amulet.
Why don't you just get your own?
Your quarters will be on the second floor,
All right,
opposite from the study. And the first floor is yours to explore. But I do recommend staying away from the back door. The entrance leading further into Lone Peak is dangerous, to say the least.
Isn't your pot like an extra dimensional space?
Okay, here you go. But don't spend the money. I know how you are. You don't understand the value.
Don't worry. It will all be free for the guests.
Kiku, don't spend the money.
And the location of the library.
You just like fly up and grab it.
The library is again adjacent to the study. That would be off limits. Might be a little bit more of a stretch. Strongly discouraged.
To go where?
The study as well as the third floor.
Have you guys ever heard of like a food storage extra dimensional space?
Your pot?
Like to store and capture food or creatures?
It was similar to a preserving bin.
Yeah.
Of course.
But extra space. So could you turn my hat into a preserving bin?
I myself could not. But if you wish to use your reward, as this, he gestures to the party. If you wish to use your reward, I believe even
Totally use the reward, yes.
No, Tiku.
Tiku needs better food storage. All her food keeps going bad.
Well, while I cannot enchant your heart, perhaps I can provide you with an alternative. Please, if you would, come with me. And as he steps forward, steps forward towards you, and a copy of him is left behind. As he seems to just duplicate. And one of them walks up to you, Tiku, and says, please, come with me. Almost immediately after that, the second says, may I show you inside?
All right, I want to
investigation.
Go for it.
I want to investigate this thing. I'm trying to see if it's an illusion or not.
Guidance.
So you have your Arcana, you're investigating. You're trying to see if it's an illusion, you're trying to see what the spell is.
Yeah. 22.
22?
17.
Not an illusion, and not a spell.
Fuck! Is it rune weaving?
My man just split himself. And just mitosis, just an amoeba.
He very much so seems to have somehow just duplicated himself, and it is not a magical effect.
All right, you've granted my curiosity. How did you perform that?
It would be more accurate to say, how did we, as you watch as almost like hands, again, similar to what you guys just seen with the bug boar, almost seem to duplicate before falling back in.
Telling you, man, there's something sus going on here.
Connected to his alternate dimensional selves?
There is no harm in showing you. You are a guest. As he kind of steps back, and again, he's still there. Steps to the side. Again, he's still there. Again. And he duplicates into 13 separate Dragonborns, all looking the exact same, and then almost all together in unison. It says, be unperturbed. We are the carekeepers.
So, which one of you is the original?
As soon as they all step back into the same one, he says, that would be me. And places his hands back together.
Okay, so the one with Tiku is not... Okay.
At this point, I think that Tiku and him are already at the cellar door. He's opening the cellar door. Instead of him reaching out for what is worth, Tiku, as he walks up to it, you don't see any knob, any kind of lock. But as soon as he walks up to it, you hear a click, and then it opens, revealing steps that seem to lead down into a cellar. As Tiku and this duplication, this Dragonborn, go into the cellar. For the rest of you, I assume you... Actually, he's actually just going to ask. For the rest of you, apart from Gurgle, of course. I keep doing this. He's doing this every time. It is noteworthy for you guys that he always keeps his hand together, except for when he made the gate. He says, for the rest of you, apart from Gurgle, you said you wish to rest. Please, if you would. And again, one steps out, leaving one behind. and he just starts to walk towards the manor.
I'll follow him to the library.
He is the ultimate butler.
Okay. As soon as you get to the door, and you two wanting to go to the library, he turns towards you and he says, "You simply wish to rest, yes?"
Yep.
Marvelous. As soon as he walks through the door, again, two of them split and go off. One of them looks towards you, Zephyr, and says, "Please," and gestures for you to follow. I assume Clay would actually be following you, as you also wanted the rest.
Yeah.
I just wish I knew how he was doing it.
Here's Judy.
Judy.
The two of you now following. He takes you to the second floor. The way this manor looks on the inside, as soon as you walk through the front door, there is one staircase towards the back of this kind of square room that you've entered in. The chandelier is a dragon that seems to have so the dragon is facing up towards the ceiling. He actually seems to be breathing fire, which is just a constant flame. But then he has dozens of tails that all split off that go into all these different lights, which actually make up the actual full lighting of the chandelier. The staircase goes up to a set of double doors. On the left, there is a most auspicious stone door. It has a dragon head for the doorknob that is holding a ring, much how you see like minotaurs often depicted. It kind of splits down the middle of it. There is no keyhole. If it is locked, it is likely a magical lock in nature. It is also the only thing that seems wildly out of place. Inside, much like the color of this dragonborn scales, the inside is wildly a teal color apart from the furniture, which all appears to be made out of solid gold. The chandelier on the ceiling, the chairs, everything, to the point that your first thought would be like, I can't imagine these would be comfortable to sit in. As you see golden chairs, a golden table, golden plates, with some food currently set out. Seems to be fresh, which as soon as you walk in, he says, "If you wish to dine before you sleep." And he gestures to the left. There's two doors, one on the right and one on the left. He's taking you guys again up the stairs to the second floor. He gestures to the left. He says, "I would recommend for you a rest in the arcane baths before you rest, and then we shall take you to the second floor. They will replenish you, one might say, revitalize you for tomorrow."
I'm down.
Wonderful. He takes you.
Can I do that? How long does that take?
You're actually technically you guys
You're in the
full
forge.
split. You got taken to the forge. They got taken to the library.
I'm just saying, as I'm being taken to the bath,
There's
like, hey,
revitalizing
Gurgle.
arcane baths?
It's like, Gurgle, they have baths. Because we're still got the telepathic link going. So.
True. Well, you could say that we could have you do that, and then Zephyr would just ask, "A rest in the arcane baths would be but an hour, and then you would rest. The full effects cannot take effect until you rest, though, I would like to mention."
And do the arcane bath give you a buff of some sort?
You have no idea.
It
is very heavily implied.
Do they give you physical enhancements?
As questions are just being relayed through Zephyr.
I fucking know. That's why I reply. I was like, I don't fucking know.
Unlike the bugbear, this man does not seem to hear your thoughts. As for the sake of this, we'll say he relays it back. And says, "Of course, it is it is the best way to describe it. You will feel more hearty, perhaps more energetic.
I reply to Razu. It's a fucking bath.
He would go, as he would be escorting the two of you, he would take you past, it seems that the kitchen is down here, as well as a small storage room, none of which seem to be, it is instead archways that just go in. There does not seem to be any doors inside, apart from the stone door that was at the back and the door at the top of the stairs. The entire bottom floor just seems to be open arches. As you're walking through this hallway, again, you go past the kitchen, you go past a storage room, and then the third archway that he takes you to, it opens up into what is this room itself seems to take up 2 stories. It does not end at the typical height the hallway does, and there's almost a waterfall style bath that kind of comes down into 3 separate bathing areas at the base, and then there appears to be a much larger one that it would be effectively in the second story. There's a staircase that goes up to the second set of baths, and there is a red dragonborn currently bathing in one of the bottom 3 pools. Last thing that's worth noting, the shapes of the 3 pools on the bottom, one appears to almost be like a wormling dragon. Its wings extremely small, and it is actually carved out of the stone. The second appears to be a dragonborn, more so a humanoid style dragon, and then the last appears to be a Chinese bath that almost kind of like loops back into itself, almost giving you the impression of a lazy river with a bath. The dragonborn is resting, or is currently lounging, I should say, in the humanoid, the dragonborn style bath. The shape of the top one, for the sake of this, we'll say you kind of like go up to look at it just to see what it would be. The shape of the top one seems to be an egg, just a kind of like larger egg with the tip of the egg facing towards the back wall. Your dragonborn butler, as he is, kind of gestures to the egg and he says, "If you wish to feel more hearty, helps you focus, especially on spells, I recommend the second story bath. If you wish to feel more dexterous," he gestures towards the dragonborn bath, "allow you to dodge, be more nimble, or perhaps strength," as he gestures towards that almost dragon-like the lazy river style bath. And he says, "And lastly, should you feel should you want to keen your mind, perhaps feel more wise, and I recommend," as he points to the baby dragon bath. "With that, the effects are incompatible, so simply choose your bath, and then as soon as you are ready," he gestures towards the arch, "I will simply be waiting out here to escort you to your rooms." With that, just in case it wasn't obvious, advantage on intelligence-based checks and saving throws, Dex, Strength, or Wisdom. Those are your 4 options.
You should do Dex.
Not Constitution?
Apologies, yes. It was Strength, Dex, Constitution, so like literally concentration checks.
Yeah.
Constitution, and then Wisdom. I think I put intelligence in
Yeah.
there, and that was unintentional. It's just Wisdom. With that, you guys can decide for what it's worth. At one point or another, I assume each of you guys are going to be bathing in one of these, so you'll have to choose one of those.
How do you get advantage on concentration checks?
They didn't tell us the second day was going to be an obstacle course of some kind.
I will probably do.
So you're gonna hold that down. We'll probably write that down at the end of the session, so you guys can just think about what you want. And we're gonna go to you, Gurgle, as you are escorted towards the forge. Again, in a similar fashion to Tiku, as soon as he gets to the door, there does not seem to be a handle on this door. But as soon as he approaches, it simply opens. Inside, you can see there is a forge in the back right. But something that's a little bit different is rather than just having almost like the short end to it where you'd put your blade in, it has almost like a river where it seems that both currently in it there is lava that is pouring into a hole in the floor. There is a dwarf that is currently sitting over that lava. He has what appears to be a wand, and he has the tip of it upside down in the lava, and it's almost kind of like pouring out from around it. In addition to that, along that river, you can see there are runes just carved into the stonework. On the left side, you can see there's a bin that's got some weapons on it. This would be for cooling blades and really any kind of metalworking that you'd be utilizing. A little bit off or a little bit further closer to you, there is what appears to be effectively it looks like a miniature armory. But it also seems a little bit odd as you look at it and you can see tiny spears, tiny pieces of armor, tiny gauntlets. It kind of catches your attention as the dwarf finishes and he walks over to the corner. And as the dwarf walks into the corner, it's almost like he's shrinking until he seems impossibly small, and he sets his wand down, almost disappearing from sight from how small the wand had got. Reaches over, grabs a breastplate, turns, walks back into the room, and seems to grow in stature as soon as he gets back into the middle of the room, looking at the breastplate. He goes, "This is perhaps not Oh, company. Apologies. He told me you would be coming. Meh. And he just throws it, and as he throws it behind him, again, it seems to shrink. Even though it clings to the floor, the sound is distant, slightly echoing as you hear like ting, 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 and he even gets quieter as it goes to the corner.
Situation going on here.
It's great for storage, I promise. And if anything you might need for our base, it is most expensive. Tell me, I simply was told that you needed access to the forge, and that I was to be of help. What were you looking to make? How can I help?
One of my friends wants some kind of full plate, I think is what he said.
I should not have thrown that. He walks back and picks up this smaller chess piece, brings it back. He says, plate mail, boring, but simple enough. Any special requests he was looking for? Oh, apologies, I was getting ahead of myself. He almost like, in both a respectful and fearful way, kind of like takes it to you and slightly bows. I didn't mean to take away any kind of thunder. I believe he said you wanted to use the forge. Did you simply want a helping hand?
Well, actually, the truth is I didn't really want to work on his full plate. I wanted to work on something else, but...
Oh, perhaps I could make this. Is there any special request that he wanted? I did hear that less poking.
Yeah, that's pretty much all he said. That was his instruction. It was less poking, less slashing, less biting.
It would be hard to do all three given a short nature. Poking, though, I'll see what I can do. Can I help in any way on your endeavors, or do you simply wish to be left to your own devices?
What kind of material you got in here?
What would you like? No, my list is expansive. It would take much longer to list everything off than to simply provide you with what you sought.
I don't think I could work with titanium yet. Or
I don't even know what that is. I can confirm that we do not have this titanium. Apologies, no. I'm unfamiliar with this material.
So, there's two ideas that I had. And I pull off my belt first and I said, this was made with a rather unique wyvern.
He sets the breastplate next to that, almost like that lava. There's a word for it that's not river, but I can't think of it. As he sets it down, he walks over to you and he takes the belt. That would be a better word. He takes the belt, and as he starts to inspect it, you actually see he's got fairly long fingernails for a dwarf. His beard's a little bit more short and stubble as you start to kind of take him in a little bit. He has gemstones braided in his beard, as his beard almost gives you that same... It almost gives you the same feeling as the dreadlocks that Orlaveil has, but instead put into his beard, and it's only four separate kind of braids. Or again, it almost gives you that same feeling of dreadlocks for how it almost kind of mats and mashes together. With that, as he takes his fingernail, he almost starts to line it, and as soon as his fingernail hits your belt, the material almost seems to split. And for a moment, you have a worry that he's like breaking your belt, as it seems to. He actually seems to cut through the belt with his fingernail, but behind where it is, it almost looks like it's stitching itself back together. So he runs his finger along it and stops. Fairly good workmanship. Just kind of like looks at the back of it, looks at the buckle, starts to inspect a little bit more. What is it you are looking to do with it? It's not as good as what I can make, as he hands it back to you, but fine.
It was actually made a while ago. I think maybe even I could make something better. But I think using it as a base to improve upon it is more what I was thinking.
That is always the best recommendation. It is very uncommon that you have something that is so set or so incapable of being changed or made better that it is better to start from base. It does happen, especially if the item is incapable of holding more, but you said wyvern hide. There is something a bit more to that.
I said a unique wyvern.
That makes more sense. That is to say, its capacity is still open.
It was an odd lava-breathing wyvern, to say the least.
Well, tell me, what do we wish to do? For the sake of this, I'm going to have you think of what you want to work on and design, and then tell me about it, and then we'll probably pick this part up next week, is I'm going to go over to Tiku. As you effectively start to talk with him, coming up with ideas and brainstorming about how you might be able to work with this. Only other thing worth noting for you before I go to Tiku, though, the Dragonborn did not enter the forge with you. He has stayed on the outside, but he does seem attentive. He's turned his back, but he's staying at the door. For you, Tiku, as he takes you out into the into the cellar, you come down into a cellar, not like something you've seen. This is a larger circular room, and in a similar fashion to what Gurgle had just seen, all the shelves that kind of like line the outer edge of it are tiny in the corners, to the point like your first thought would be like, Tiku's small, but like this is very impractical. I would not be able to use that. In the middle, there's a what you would think of almost like a communal pot. It almost looks like a larger cauldron almost. There's a fire that burns beneath it, but the fire that burns is odd. The coals are green, orange, yellow. The fire itself, rather than actually being a flame, is almost more so, it looks like heat waves that seem to be emanating almost more of like coals that burn with arcane colors. As soon as he walks in, he turns to the right and takes a few steps. You would watch as Tiku, still being a medium creature, this Dragonborn is still at 7 feet tall, would be taller than you, and then a moment he's as tall as you, and then he's shorter as he turns and comes back, and he says he has a small crate. Again, one of the few times you see him with his hands out, as there's a crate roughly about this big in his hands. He says, if you could learn how to implement that, I believe that would likely be the closest to what you were asking. It has a unique design. Take something you wish to prolong. Hold it near a food.
Go Pokeball.
I'm gonna walk up to like the first ingredient I found and find and stick.
As you kind of like look around, first thing you see is almost there seems to be a shelf that has different fruits that are all scattered about it. One thing you notice as well is as you walk towards it, not only does the room behind you seem to get bigger, the Dragonborn before he follows also seeming to get slightly bigger. It gets colder and colder until it gets down to like you'd be about 40 degrees. Not to the point of freezing, but still very, very cold. As it seems as you get to this produce, you've been put inside of a fridge. The produce that you see is more so, it is like different meats. There is some fruits. The fruits that you do see would be more so like berries, things that you would typically refrigerate. Berries, you can see, you see some like tomatoes near the top. Not as exotic as a lot of the ingredients that you work with, but it seems that not only do you shrink as you go into these different parts, the temperature seems to alter as different portions of the cellar have different environments.
I need a cellar like this.
That would be slightly more difficult. As you hold it up to what is just like a larger, what appears to kind of remind you of the cockatrice leg, as you see just effectively almost like a massive drumstick style of meat. As you hold it up, within a moment as you're holding it, the crate expands to a point where you're no longer able to hold it. The crate falls to the ground, kind of the lid almost immediately opening up, and almost like a mimic that had just been opened by an adventurer going to bite. It just kind of, and the larger cockatrice leg just seems to be pulled inside. The crate shuts and shrinks back down to a small size.
Whoa. You said it preserves? Does it preserve hot things too?
Of course. It is much, I can't give you the cellar, but same style of magic. It is almost, what is to say? It's smart. It knows how to store. If you wish to store something unnaturally, you must alter the magic. If you wish to heat something that would typically be cooled, you would have to alter the magic.
How big can it go? Can I store a dragon?
Depends on the size of the dragon. A large one, of course. As you get more massive, huge, it could be a little bit more difficult. Perhaps with some expansion. It is not a fully developed product.
Oh. This is great.
Tiku.
Wait.
I need you to stop thinking out loud. I'm trying to take a bath.
He's still in my head.
I just realized I was doing the same voice for both of them. I lost it. If you'd like, I can stop that.
The head? Talking?
Any request of the guests?
I think I'm okay.
Unperturbed.
Where's your spices?
He takes you. Is there anything specifically that you're looking for?
Anything unique, obviously, and then a ton of spices of all kinds.
Okay.
Especially any unique spices to the dragons.
He will not give you all the spices, but he does give you a good amount. Some of them that kind of catch your attention right off. In terms of spices, he gives you what he calls dragon's acid. The way that it would be described to you is this would effectively be the acid in a dragon's stomach.
I want a ton of slime stuff too.
We're gonna be tripping.
A ton of what? Sorry.
Slime stuff and ice.
Funnily enough,
And milk.
Orlaveil is not a fan of the slime delicacies. Unfortunately, would not be available.
I send
here.
a butler for
I guess-
slime.
That
say
they would
this
be willing to do.
One thing. The term dragon acid sounds like the most hardcore drug ever.
So for what it's worth, as he talks to you about it, it is. So not only is dragon acid what a dragon keeps in its gullet that actually allows it to disintegrate and absolve the things that a normal human wouldn't be able to
It
eat.
absolves it?
Absorb, apology.
Dissolve.
That is the word I was trying to say. But in addition to that, this, if ingested, is a psychedelic to the point that not only does it would send you on a trip, the way that it sends you on a trip also kills most people because it breaks down your mind. As it gets into your blood and is sent through your body and sent towards your brain, it literally breaks down your brain, causing you to hallucinate, and for most people, eventually causes them to die.
So why do you add this with the
Taste
food?
the colors and see time.
Effectively, yes.
What do you make this with typically?
Taste all the colors.
Sorry, one more time.
What do you make with this typically?
An assortment of things.
Poison.
He gestures towards the pot in the room, which, as you guys are standing on the side, would look massive. We're talking like this would look like a 20-story tall cauldron that you're looking back towards the middle of the room. As it seems that you do shrink with this room as you go into the different parts.
I wonder if you could go that big.
With that, he says, it's mainly used to break down different foods. You don't consume it directly. You use it to mix with things typically not consumed by the populace.
Have you tried it with like rock elemental before?
Of course. Well, of sorts. The
Yeah, who has it?
rock elementals can be much harder to consume. It does break them down to a point of pumpability, but the problem is at that point they break down largely into energy, which is hard to consume.
How do dragons eat like really big precious stones?
He gestures towards what is just like a larger vial of this dragon acid. He says, this allows them to dissolve it. Some dragons, like, I don't know if you are familiar with one of the ones amongst the court. There is a gem dragon, or you might say an emerald dragon, who consumes precious stones. He gains power from it. This material, or this
Is he blue?
liquid, is green.
Green.
Much like an emerald.
Okay. What other fun ingredients do you have?
And as he's starting to take you through a little bit of this, and again, this is another thing where we can go through, we'll kind of go through the ingredients, and then we can come back to the next one as you start to go through, as we are going to go to you two being taken to the library. As the first thing, as you guys get to the top of the stairs, again, door seems to open almost automatically for this butler dragonborn. The second floor is a little bit more open than the base floor. There's the one open room, and then it kind of is the hallways that go into the different areas of the first floor. The second floor is instead almost a larger open rectangular room that just has a multitude of doors throughout it. There is 7 doors on the right. There's 4 doors on the left, and then there's 2 doors towards the back. One is like almost in the left corner. The other one is dead center. As you guys actually get up, he takes you to the 4 doors on the left. You go to the first door on the left. As soon as he comes up to the door, this is the first one that does not open automatically. And before he actually opens it, turning back to each of you, he gestures to the 3 doors. He says, "These would be the rooms that would be off limits, as you know. If you truly wish to answer, do so at your own peril. But
All 3 are the study.
no. 1 is the study, 2 are of other nature. I am unable to
Disclose.
Yes, and I do mean that literally, just in case you think I'm lying. I don't know what is behind them. That said, this one, as he gestures towards the door, and it does seem to almost like a sound, an unlock, as it opens up.
Nobody said no doors were locked.
He did. As it opens up into what is a think from your best most book favored royal, like anime, anything. You see what is a 2-story library. Does seem to go up to the 3rd floor, despite the fact that he said it is off limits. And there are thousands of books.
The books, if you actually got up that high, are off limits.
As
you could ask him.
Do you want to ask him, or you?
So are the books on the same level as the 3rd floor off limits?
Yes, that would be the Forbidden Library, as you mostly call it amongst you common folk. Don't worry, there's not an entrance to that floor here. Anything you have access to, unless there is obviously some kind of barrier or precaution, you will have access to. That said, the only downfall to this library as of now, you must know what you're looking for. It is set up in your best. He very much so seems lost for a way to describe it. He says, bibliographical, I believe would be the word best suited. It has a system by which it's organized. History, which typically starts here, progresses as you go down. Your catalogs, studies, biographies, typically on the right. You're welcome to anything inside. There's multiple desks inside. There is not bookcases in the middle of the room. There's instead what appears to be 4 separate desks, or more so 4 separate study areas. You could have multiple people sitting at a single one and still be quite a bit separate, as they are larger, almost larger studied. Again, there is another individual. This person is an elf. There's one person who is sitting at the table that would be kind of kitty corner to you guys. As far away from the door as he could possibly be is what it is. As the individual has a pair of glasses that are way too big for his face, as they kind of like rest on his nose, come down past his cheek and almost like up to his forehead, as he has 2 just large glasses that, as you kind of like look at it, even from the distance you're at, make his eyes seem impossibly too large for his head. It is definitely a comical look as you see this, in addition to that pink-haired high elf. That is very, very clearly still male, despite what is this like neon pink hair. He's wearing a tunic that cuts down almost halfway down his chest. A little bit of chest hair that's kind of curled on itself. And he has a mixture of purple, pink, green, black, and blue nail polish on each of his fingernails, filed to a very fine curve. It very much almost looks like someone who got a pedicure with multiple different colors on his nails. Last thing, he is wearing a skirt. As his legs clean shaven, but he is wearing what appears to be a little bit in contrast to the white tunic is a teal skirt that is a little bit tighter around his waist. As soon as you guys come in, him reading his book, kind of like looks and then like leans down a little bit, not nearly enough, but kind of like gets a little bit down the table, too engrossed in his book to truly hide, but trying to hide himself behind the book from you guys.
I just have a question before I start. The rune upon your hand, what would you refer to that magic in this era?
it would be simple enchantment magic.
Simple enchantment magic. This. Very well.
The one thing I will include, simple enchantment magic among dragons. The king's blessings. Under his rule, there have been many advancements. One might say it is our only... forgive the indignity of the reference, but it is the only hand we have against the gods.
I understand. Are there by chance books upon this magic?
Unfortunately, as he looks up to the second floor and he says, that would be amongst the off-limits information. While you can browse, if you wish, I do recommend against it, at least until you acquire the proper approvals.
Okay. I suppose it's not necessary immediately.
My only other thing for you, as he looks towards the elf sitting at the table, I ask that you don't scare our other guest. He's quite shy.
And who is he?
You may still talk to him. Now, let me know if you need anything. As he just walks to the side of the door, allowing for you guys to walk in. And again, in a similar fashion to each one of you, he does not enter the room. As you guys kind of like a little bit of discussion between each of you, you guys are able to find the commonality that this individual doesn't seem to enter any room in the house. He stays in the hallways or outside. With that being the case, what are you guys looking for?
So, first thing, I'm going to specifically be looking for history of the gods that the dragons have written that we have access to so far, specifically more in depth on Bane.
Okay, so you are effectively researching the gods.
I had a couple more things.
For the sake of what this library is, I will let you research one thing for every day you are here. This is because you have to keep in mind, Roger would not be familiar with, for one, the sorting system. Even as you start to explore it, you'd start to figure it out. It'd be an investment, and you're reading books. Like, how many books can you as Nathaniel read in one day?
Not a lot.
So,
I mean, realistically,
write down what you want to research. But
do that over the course of the week.
But yes,
realistically,
each day that you're here, I will allow you to research one thing. And just so you know, if you use one day on this, one day on this, one day on this, one day on this, I will still only give you a surface level of what's in the library on each of those. If you want more information on each, you'd be spending multiple days researching this, to the point that, like Zephyr, would have spent years of his life researching gods.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is not like a day thing.
And not only did I spend years of my life researching gods, but I'm also like a talent in
that. And he's also incredibly smart. Specifically, not only is he incredibly smart, this is his area of expertise. That is to say, again, if you really want to go through and just look at a bunch of things, I'm going to give you you're going to see like a passage or two that caught your attention as you flipped through books. That's what Rozzy would get.
I mean, you could realistically read one book a day pretty easily
if that was
if you dedicated it the whole day. Yeah,
but you're also not studying it. You're just kind of reading it.
Yeah, you just read it. You'd read it.
With that, you write down the things. Similar to what I'm doing with each of them. Write down what you want to study in the library, and then we'll kind of go and we'll decide how much time you're putting into it.
I'm writing down a lot of crazy monsters, just so you know.
Just don't add them to your ingredient list until I actually confirm, and I might add to it a little bit for what's actually there. What are you looking for?
I would actually turn back to the Teal Dragonborn.
I want to make Jello cubes out of gelatinous.
Jasmine actually mentioned this so early.
I saw her message. It wouldn't really make sense to just be like, "Hey, what's your name?"
I just it's up to you. You do whatever you want.
As I would turn it back and
what would I call you? If it's alright if I ask.
Apologies. My name is Batal.
Batal?
Batal.
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 It is a pleasure, Batal. What tempora are we currently within?
I don't understand your question.
So that happens later.
If you wish to know the time...
What year is it? Yes.
Yes. We are 223 in the era of the Dragon King.
I'm assuming a book on all the dragon names are off limits.
That does not exist.
Well, they'll probably have something like that.
Or if it does exist, it's some random kook that probably wrote it himself and it's his personal notes.
What are you looking for?
What book is the pink-haired elf reading?
Do you want to go up and look?
Can I not see it from this distance?
Most of these books are unlabeled. It's one of the reasons it's so hard to actually do research in this library.
Sure, I'll get closer.
Okay. As you get closer, the only thing you can see that is on the book is there is a slight, it's only an outline of a picture, and it's only on the right side of the book that he's reading. As you would see a picture of what appears to be a dragon with a host of dead bodies. It's almost like he's standing over a battlefield. From that picture, your best interpretation would simply be something related to war. As you get closer, he again shrinks down into the chairs.
Can I help you?
I was merely curious as to what you were reading.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
And he just shuts the book and sets it down. I didn't mean to take it from you.
No.
As he slides it across the table.
I was merely curious.
I lost my place.
You were around 2/3 of the way through.
He reaches out, and as he reaches it out with you talking to him, you can it's not like a shuttle shot. His hands are like, he grabs the book and kind of starts to flip through it. He's like, it's kind of fumbling through the pages. And he starts to flip it back and kind of like, it's on the
My apologies.
He flips back to the first page, and then he just kind of seems to read an entry from the first. He says, a historical record of the Dragon King's ascension to his current rule. It's written from the perspective of a philosopher.
My apologies. It is clear my presence is unsettling. I will take my leave.
As you turn your head to kind of like look away, for you as well, Razu, as you're kind of like you're looking at the books on the left and you saw it, and you kind of like glance back, and as soon as you turn, the individual's gone. The book is left on the table, and this actually is what causes you to turn around as well, as you just hear as the book hits the table behind you. The individual is now gone. And that is actually where we're going to end for today, as whoever that individual is and what exactly we're going to find in each of these different areas of Orlaveil's Manor will be left to next week. My Twitch chat just blocked your message, Jessa. Here, I'll allow it. With that is where we'll be ending for tonight. No, we did not level up. Jasmine, thank you for always hanging out. We will see you.
Did we get a long rest?
We will see you next week to figure out what happens in the Manor of Orlaveil.
Not my fault.
Bye-bye.